that? Okay, do you want yes? And then I gotta ask him to unmute. I'm gonna go get.
I'll do it.
No. Somebody must.
Thank you. I can move the clip. This is the agenda. Please do the approval. Oh, Marquis, to be honest.
You can. Do it right in the beginning. Just the payment of flood safety cameras.
There's a picture of you.
He's right here.
Probably in the trash.
Just allow me into Zoom, please.
7-8. Ahmed,
Yeah.
7-8.
Thank you, Michelle.
We'll do it for everybody.
I'm getting no internet. When Joe, Wednesday.
I don't have it at home.
Oh, we'll let Rashida go first.
Yeah.
I know, I gotta go.
Are you guys ready?
Delete.
I'm getting
Madam
no
Clerk?
internet, son.
Can you let me into Zoom? Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Hello. It was me. I shut it off. Yeah, I'm on. You ready?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with us. I call for the order of the regular Dearborn Heights City Council meeting at 6:03 PM. Madam Clerk, can you please take roll call?
Yes, Hassan Ahmad,
Present.
Mo Baidoon,
Here.
Nancy Breyer,
Here.
Robert Constant,
Present.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell,
Here.
Hassan Saab,
Present.
and Tom Wenzel.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Before we start our meeting here, ladies and gentlemen, I just have a few things that I just want to get out here before we even start a pledge of allegiance. I was not in attendance at the last city council meeting. I know I've sent several emails to my colleagues and letting them know that our meetings have been repetitively asking many of the same questions, or some of us not really doing our homework for, the reasons maybe we're all somewhat busy, but we have signed up to do our work. And so I'm asking you today to please be mindful to those who are at home. This is going to be a very, very long meeting. I don't anticipate us to be here for 4 hours. And I hope that you guys could acknowledge that email and we can make it easier for those in the audience, those on Zoom, and then those who are at home watching us, please. Also, before we continue, this past couple of weeks, I know that there has been so many innocent lives across the US, across the globe, back home in the Middle East, in Florida, North Carolina, people are struggling. We have lost so many lives. I know just here in our very own community, we just lost somebody by the name of Hash Kamal Jawad. And so I want to go ahead and give a moment of silence for all of those who have lost their lives, whether it's natural disasters or being targeted by, occupiers and terrorists. I want us to put our heads down and please just give a whole moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next up, I'm going to have our Congresswoman, Rashida Tlaib, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Congresswoman, thank you. Well, while you're standing, please join us at the podium for a presentation by Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib.
Thank you so much for Council President Baidoon for inviting me here. As you all know, I have the privilege and honor to be working on the federal budget, and we get a number of proposals. We're allowed to choose about 15 proposals for the federal budget through the community funded project. And one of the great things that we get to do is work with our local electeds, figure out what some of the priority issues, especially when we're constantly competing for those federal grants with other communities consistently, is how do we try to, again, be able to maybe provide that push to be able to get closer to what we need. As you all know, I told many of my colleagues when I submitted this proposal, if you don't believe me, come to my district. I'm going to show you a firehouse that's sinking. And they said, what? I said, it's on clay that's now illegal to be used to build. And my fire fighters can't even open the door. They have to sometimes adjust the door for them to get out. And to be honest, when I went to present the check to the chief and the mayor, I was there and it was leaking as well, right above where the fire truck is. Anybody go down there, it looks beautiful from the outside, but please know, like, there's a lot of structural issues there. And so we were able to get $500,000 in seed money. So we have a lot of work to do. We're looking for partners continuing, of course, at the Wayne County level, as well as to stay in other places. It's echoing, but do I give this to you?
We will join you.
Oh, okay.
How about that,
Yeah,
Madam
that'd be
Clerk?
great.
Take a photo of us?
Does anybody have questions about this?
No,
Okay.
can we get
Keep on
more?
coming.
Oh, you gotta put the proposal.
Bigger checks. Appreciate you.
Oh, of course, thanks for inviting me.
Nice. We'll take a couple of steps back here.
Okay. Oh, right here.
Yes.
Oops, I don't have that.
1, 2, 3.
Yay, Rashida.
Just a couple of announcements, okay. Just really quick, for any of my Dearborn Heights residents listening in, we are still, backlogged on IRS cases. So please, though, keep sending them our way. It's not about you, I promise. I swear it's not. It's one of our number one cases. The next issue is we had over 150 cases, for Americans with ties to the 12th congressional district. Many come from Dearborn Heights that need evacuation from Lebanon, including, one of our veterans who, received 2 Purple Hearts, did 2 tours in Iraq. We got 64 of those families out so far, but we want to continue to, make sure just know it's getting more and more difficult for many of our families to even get to the Beirut airport. But please, not only prayers, but make sure that we continue to educate people in understanding the strong roots that many of our families have with Lebanon. And I can tell you from folks that are there to go to school or engineers, and the cost of living is there so much more affordable than it is here. I hear this constant, well, they choosing to live there. You can go to Japan or any other country. There's Americans everywhere. They should not be treated any different than any other Americans that we need to evacuate. I don't care. But continue. Thank you all so much that have reached out already. I know more and more cases are coming to our office, but we're here to help in any way we can. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Thank you. Next up, we have a city council resident recognition by Councilman Ahmad. I will join him.
Council Chair, fellow council members, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests. Today we gather to celebrate a remarkable local business that has become a cherished part of our community. As-Sayyid Meat Market, established in 2014 by the dedicated duo Ali and Iman As-Sayyid, this market is more than just a place to buy quality meat. It is a testament to hard work, community spirit, and family values. Ali brings with him an impressive 25 years of industry expertise, and together with Iman, they have cultivated a business that focuses quality and professionalism at every turn. From the moment you step through the doors of As-Sayyid Meat Market, you are not just a customer. You are welcomed into a warm and inviting family atmosphere. What truly sets As-Sayyid Meat Market apart is their unwavering commitment to giving back to our community through partnerships with organizations such as Aman, Amity, Internal Light, Blue Hands, United, and many more. Ali and Iman actively uplift families in need, ensuring that no one in our community is left behind. Their contributions extend beyond their products as they engage with local events and collaborate with our fire and police departments, as well as the Crestwood, Dearborn, and District 7 school districts. Today, we recognize Al Sayed Meat Market not just for their exceptional products, but for their exemplary role as community stewards. Their dedication to service and support has made a significant impact, and we are grateful to have them in our community. On behalf of the City Council and the residents of our community, I am proud to present this award to Ali and Iman Al Sayed. Thank you for your hard work, your commitment to quality, and your passion for uplifting those around you. Here's to many, many years of success and community partnership. You want to read this, Council Chair?
You guys want to join us for a photo?
Dearborn Heights City Council Certificate of Recognition presented to Ali and Iman Al Sayed Meat Market in recognition of their exceptional community service and dedication, outstanding contribution to local initiative, and unwavering commitment to the well-being of our residents. Signed by Council Chair Baidu, myself, our council members.
Tom, make sure you're in there. Yes, Tom.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Let me get a picture of me.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
My phone. This way. This way.
Thank you.
Council Chair,
Yes, sir, Councilman.
while Ali and Iman are still up there, I know these two have done so much for all area communities, not just Dearborn Heights. And I know all these other communities have really showed them a lot of respect and thanking them a lot, where we haven't done that in Dearborn Heights. As much work as they do for Dearborn Heights and the things that they donate and volunteer for, it goes unrecognized. And I just started dealing with them a little bit in the last 6 months. And they've come through for us, my organizations, every time. And I hope this is just the start of the recognition that you guys do for our community. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Council Chair,
Thank you, Councilman.
I just want to also echo what Councilman Winslow said. Al Sayed Meat Market is actually a staple in this community, honestly. Everything you hear and people talk about Al Sayed's, and I personally shop there on a daily basis. And if I ever need anything, Ali's always reaching out to me. Raymond, I appreciate you guys for everything you do in the community, honestly. Thank you. Thank you for supporting all the school events and everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, it goes without notice and without said, this is just a token of appreciation. The Al Sayed family, at any event, at any charity giving, any fundraising, any time it comes for a helping hand, you can always count on Iman and Ali, and I mean that truly. I don't think there's ever been a time where I've looked at a flyer and it said all people that have donated. You know, 100% Iman and Ali from Al Sayed Meats are 100% donating.
Thank you.
And they're not doing it for the recognition. They're doing it because that's who these individuals are. And so one more congratulations.
We wouldn't be able to do it without the support of our community. You guys are our backbone. So we appreciate you all. Thank you so
We
much.
love you
Thank
guys.
you.
Love
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Thank you.
One more.
Okay, we have one more special one for this evening. We would like to welcome Honorable Dr. Yusuf Musallam with us today, this evening. Dearborn Heights City Council Proclamation of Appreciation honoring Dr. Yusuf Musallam. On behalf of the Dearborn Heights City Council, we extend our deepest congratulations on being recognized as the 2024 National Superintendent of the Year by the National Association of School Superintendents. This well-earned recognition reflects not only your unwavering dedication to the Crestwood School District, but also the meaningful and lasting impact you have had on our community. Under your leadership, Crestwood School District has grown into something we can all proud of. Through your tireless work, you have elevated the educational experience for every student, making sure they receive the support and opportunities they deserve. You have also fostered strong connections between the schools and our community, showing us that when we invest in our youth, we invest in the future of Dearborn Heights. Your leadership has placed Dearborn Heights on the national stage, and your efforts have been rightfully acknowledged. Thank you to your guidance, Crestwood has become a standout district, one that not only serves its students, but has earned national recognition for excellence. This award is a reflection of your commitment to pushing boundaries and seeking the very best for our schools. The City Council is proud to stand with you in celebrating the incredible achievement. We are grateful for all you have done for our schools and our community. And we know that with your continued leadership, there is no limit to what Crestwood and Dearborn Heights can accomplish. Once again, congratulations, Dr. Yusuf Musallam. Council members?
We'll do the squad members after.
Back up here, if you guys want. Congratulations.
Thank you, everybody. Such an honor. Thank you, everyone.
You know, you guys go, because I need one. No problem. Perfect. My turn, sorry. Up there, smile. Thank you.
Those words? Sure, I'll take them. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm
Without, sounds back.
First off, I am so humbled and honored to receive this from the city council, from the city of Dearborn Heights. I'll be brief. I'm a superintendent, so I could talk forever, but I'll be brief. In 2019, I had the honor of being named the new superintendent of the Crestwood School District.
Thanks to Lynn.
Lynn Cindia was a board member at that time. And I've been blessed over these years to have a board of education that has been more than supportive. I know President Al-Zayat, Trustee Williamson, Trustee Ayman, I hope that I didn't miss anyone else. Najah, yeah. And then, of course, Trustee Fawaz and Trustee Baidoon and Trustee Sable. I say this and I say this all the time. It's been very humbling, all the congratulations I've received. But my response is this. This is an award for our community. This is an award for our city. This is an award for our students, our staff. I tell people the role of a superintendent is to give and to support and to serve their constituents, their students, their staff, so that they can have everything they need to be successful. And with the support of City Council, there hasn't been a time where one of you have not responded when we needed something as a school district. And I know you do the same thing for D7, and I know you do the same thing for Westwood. Because you care about the children of this community in Dearborn Heights. Doesn't matter which school district it is, because we're all one. I want to thank, and I'm honored and privileged that I work with the superintendents from D7 and Westwood on a regular basis. We talk, and with the current situations occurring that are impacting all of us, we have conversations on how we can help one another, and we continue those conversations. With that said, again, I am honored and I am humbled. I appreciate this. As mentioned in here, this is an award for our community, an award for our city, an award for our students, because now we are on the national map. This is when it gets hard. Now we got to go to the next level. So again,
Well, Dr. Masalam, a stand-up guy, thank you so much for your services to this community. Thank you to the trustee here. I also want to recognize our trustee president, Danielle Alziet, our trustee, let's give her a round of applause. Trustee Amen, who's here with us as well, and trustee Williams, who's here with us as well. Trustee Janoon also told me she had no idea her son had a soccer game. That's just how busy she is with the district, but she's also here on Zoom, so we can recognize her as well. I'm not gonna throw a quick little curveball. Yeah,
Just want to make a comment, please.
go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Masalam, there's so many people and organizations that are recipients that benefit from his leadership, and my nonprofit, Jamie's Kids, many commissions that we have. This past weekend, the firefighters open house. A direct reflection on his leadership are the students and the way these students come out when you need them to help. I mean, anytime I need some, I don't have to say, how many can you give me? They go, how many do you need? And if I need 10, I need 20, I need 30, they show up. And they don't even show up. They're fantastic, dedicated workers. And that's a direct reflection on the leadership of the school district. And we're honored and blessed to have you in our city. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman. Again, thank you, guys. I just want to throw a quick little, I'm going to go a little bit off of what our actual agenda here is today. Madam Clerk, if that's okay. With us in the room today, we have Dr. Muhammad Sob. He's the gentleman sitting here in the wheelchair. Dr. Muhammad Sob most recently was in the hospital, I believe, for a little bit over a month and a half. He was coming home from being out with his children. He was getting some stuff out of the vehicle. He told his son to go inside. It was a little windy outside. A city tree that was either, I'm assuming it would be considered diseased, had enough wind that where it fell on top of the gentleman here today who's with us. He asked me if he can come in today. I know that our meetings usually take a little bit long, but this is a man who's not just because he's an elected official, we can't give him our time and day in the beginning. So I said to myself, please come on in. Yes, we want to hear your story. We want to know what happened. And we want those who are at home to know to be careful, because this isn't just happening in Dearborn Heights, just in our own neighborhood, in our own backyard. Livonia, a child died because a tree fell on top of a home that belonged to the city. This is happening all across the country. And so what he wants to do here today is raise a little bit of awareness. I told him that 100% the stage belongs to you tonight. And he's not coming here because he wants anybody to feel sorry for him. He's here today because he said, Mo, truly, this is me. I was a man that rode 18 miles a day on a bike, and today I'm in a wheelchair. This could happen to anybody. So he's here today to spread awareness. And he wants to share his story. So if it's okay with you guys in this honorable council, I'd like them to come up to the podium and share his story, and also to all give him our undivided attention and a standing ovation to Chris Hope. We have an extra light here. Give me a second.
You're gonna look good. You're gonna do okay on your own? Yeah.
Hello. There you go. Mr. Cooper, I didn't need your help.
Good evening, everyone.
You just have to speak up a little bit.
Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Again, my name is Mohammed Sob, and I'm here just to talk about exactly what happened to me that day. What I feel is was a little reckless, maybe a little negligent by the city of Dearborn Heights. regarding the tree that fell on me, my vehicle, and my home on August 27, 2024. For years, I had been contacting the city about this tree under my house. It was diseased and it was dangerous. It was clear to me and others that this tree could fall and hurt somebody, anybody. But the city didn't do anything about it, despite my warnings. Not only did I warn the city, I actually contacted them multiple times for me, myself, to take it down. And they refused. They said no. And they refused my offer and kept this dangerous tree standing, putting me, my family, and my neighbors at risk. On August 27, after coming home from work, about 6 p.m., the tree fell and pinned me underneath for over 25 minutes. I suffered serious injuries, fractures to my spine, shattered my pelvis, multiple rib fractures, a scapular fracture, ligament damage in my neck, and other parts of my body. I'm still dealing with the pain, emotional stress, and knowing that all of this could have been prevented makes it even worse. I don't believe this was just an accident. I think it was the result of how reckless this city is. The tree was dangerous, but they did nothing about it. And even when I offered to handle it myself, they said no. And I believe that was just careless. To make matters worse, while I was pinned under that tree, the other half of the tree fell on my house, causing even more damage. The city's refusal to take care of this problem didn't just affect me, it put my whole family in danger and damaged our property as well. The city didn't show even the smallest level of care in dealing with this dangerous tree. What happened to me wasn't just a mistake. It was the result of reckless actions that have left me and my family suffering physically, emotionally, and even financially. I'm here to make my story heard and that there's a record of the recklessness and the gross negligence the city showed. I hope this council realizes how serious this is and takes responsibility for what happened. I also hope that no other residents of Dearborn Heights have to go through what I've gone through. The city needs to act quickly and responsibly in the future when residents report safety issues like this. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you take action to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone else again. So when I got home about 6 p.m., it was a beautiful day. My wife was sitting in the backyard having a cup of coffee. I just got off work, picked up my son from football practice, 13-year-old, and I had some stuff that I was loading in my truck that was sitting in front of my house. And there was no sign of a storm. And my son asked me if he needed my help, 13-year-old son. I told him, just go to the back. You look tired, I'll take care of it. And a few minutes later, I'm packing the first thing in my truck and the wind picked up. And I said, you know what, let me finish packing my stuff up. So I went to load the truck again and I heard the tree crack. And I turned to look and this tree's coming down at me. And I had no shot. I couldn't get out of the way. And it just pinned me into the ground. And the rest was history. And this is why I'm sitting here right now. And I'm unable to walk for at least another 6 to 8 months. And this is devastating. Devastating for me and my family. It's not easy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sob. My heart is with you and your family. I think everybody in this room here hears your story at home and on Zoom. And we are at your service, however we can help. And I'll be in contact with you, in the future. Thank you. It's not easy to come up here and share your story. And it's not easy to come here today and say, I'm coming in here today because one, I've made these complaints and let me tell you, it's extremely hard also. The city on a daily is constantly receiving so many of these phone calls. But we are the council, we are the city. All of us collaboratively here have to understand that we have a job. And when we are not on top of our job, and we're not on top of what we need to do and reach the expectations, dangerous things like this man could have lost his life had he been an inch to the right or inch to the left. My heart is with you and your family. Again, thank you for coming here and sharing your story. If there's anything you need, you can reach out to us. I know at the first, he gave me a call. Actually, I dropped off my son at daycare, and his brother-in-law told me he was disappointed that I had not reached out to the individual who had the tree fall on top of him. And I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. That same day, I reached out to some of the council members. I think I emailed all of the council members. And I actually headed over to the hospital and I visited Mr. Sobe inside the hospital. To a physician like himself who, sees patients as not being evaluated by other physicians. I can only imagine that. And second, sitting on, in a wheelchair for a man who used to ride his bike for close to 18 to 20 miles a day is no longer able to do so. My heart is with you, Mr. Sobe, and I can tell you, I think every single person in this room here feels for you and stands in solidarity with you. Thank you. Any other council members?
Yes, Council Chair. Mr. Stoll, honestly, the city could do better. It's as simple as that. City could have did and should have did better.
Thank
I
you.
hope you have full recovery.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
Dr. Sobah, I'm sorry this is happening to you. It's definitely a lesson learned by the city. All we could do right now, pray for you, hopefully for a speedy recovery. I'm sorry this has happened, and thank you for sharing your experience with us.
I also pray for your full recovery.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Council Chair,
Sir, Councilman.
I'm sure we all feel the same way up here. I don't want to repeat everything I said, but may God bless you and for speedy recovery and hope everything works out good. Hopefully you're riding your bike again next spring.
Thank you, Councilman. Next up, I have agenda approval.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad, Councilman Saab.
I move that Dearborn Heights City Council approve the amended budget for the regular meeting of October 8, 2024 as submitted.
Council Chair,
Can I get a second?
second,
Motion made by Councilman Saab, second by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion?
but removing 9C of the
Which-
agenda.
Is the clerk senior?
And
Okay.
Council Chair,
Hang on 1 second, sir. You're eliminating 9C. Councilman Saab,
I'd like to also remove 7A,
what is that?
the marquee sign,
Which one?
marquee sign.
7A? I want a 7A.
Yeah, that's a big consideration. of
No,
this.
7A, so. I think
It's 7A. Oh, I'm so sorry.
it's 9I,
9.
9I.
9I. Parks Recreation Director Sauer Canfield Center Marquee sign. You want to remove, is that 9C and 9I?
1 second, sorry, something's.
Yeah, 9C and 9I.
Okay. Councilman Saab, would you like to amend your motion to eliminating 9C and 9I?
Yes,
You can be excused. Thank you.
I second.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, for agenda approval with the elimination of 9C and 9I. Seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion here?
Council Chair.
Councilman Wenzel?
Thank you. I know 9I has been a little touchy subject and, I don't know how we work this, if we just eliminate or table it. Or.
Fair collection is.
Just same thing, okay.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Soul, but did you want to say something? Yeah. Somebody from the audience said, okay. I will reach out to, I will reach out with you guys tomorrow and I'll get the DPW director on it, okay? Can you come up? Can you come up to the mic so that? It's okay.
You have the address, man?
Yeah.
Maybe. After
Well,
you're
I
done,
have
then we
my
can leave it.
address directly.
Then you can give it to George, both
So
addresses.
if you look at 5734.
You can fill it out after you speak.
So I live on McMillan and I informed my neighbor that we were coming here today.
And she told me, please, well, multiple neighbors told me, please mention the one across the street from my house. And I'm actually afraid to have my kids outside at this point because it wasn't that strong of wind that pushed my tree down. The one across from me is clearly dead. It's got branches that don't even have leaves growing on it anymore. And she told me she's called. I don't know if she has, but she mentioned she's called quite a few times and it's never been checked. It's never been checked. Nobody's passed by it, none of the above.
Just pass the
My-
information.
Hang on, one second. Let her finish.
Okay, and my stump, they picked up the tree after it fell. They picked it up pretty quickly, but my stump has never been taken off. My kids ask me all the time, can I get rid of that stump? Because it brings back a lot of bad memories.
I will reach out to him as well. I mean, I can tell you right now, our DPW director has been on and he's only been with us for a very short period of time. I will definitely reach out to him and I'll get with the doc and Ray as well tomorrow.
Thank you.
You can also just share your information
Sure.
with George and we'll go from there. Again, I'm sorry to you and your family. Yeah, we will. Thank you. Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad with elimination of 9C and 9I. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Council members, please, let's not be afraid of engaging with our ayes and nays, please. Thank you. Next up, approval of the minutes.
Council
Minutes of the
Chair.
regular meeting of September I'm reading that. Approval of the minutes.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the minutes for the regular meeting of September 24, 2024, as submitted.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, second by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carried. Maybe my coffee just said, so I'm a little bit more hyper. Next up, we have public hearing and comments on agenda items only. This is on agenda items only. Please step up, state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
I don't know if you'll consider this agenda
Can
item
you
only.
pull up the mic down a little bit?
I don't know if you'll consider this agenda item only, but you allowed the gentleman to come in here with the tree falling, and I'd like to say something about that.
I'm gonna allow it this time.
Okay. I'm heartbroken and purely disgusted with the city. Started over a year ago with Roger. We were supposed to be working on some kind of resolution for the trees. Nothing became of that. I've come here for at least 4 years and sent numerous videos to this administration of my own tree in front of my house that just fell out of nowhere. This is bullcrap that somebody has to suffer an injury like this because of the neglect for years of the city. You as council need to step up and start designating some money and get these trees taken down ASAP. No one else needs to be injured.
Thank
It's
you.
enough.
Anyone else in the audience? You asked for an additional minute? Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
Good evening, Zuhair Abdulhaq, 354 Rosemary, Dearborn Heights. Several items I want to talk about tonight. The first one, I want to thank the chief of the police for bringing up the issue of 10 additional officers and 1 additional dispatcher. The city council passed resolution and put out $380,000 to upgrade the dispatch room. 3 years passed, nothing happened. So I hope the city council, since you are responsible for the finance of this city, to look if we have enough money in the budget. And if we do, I really appreciate it if you pass it and approve it, because really the safety of our people comes before anything else. The second thing, you have some items, CDBG, DR. You already passed in 9/10/24, 9A, resolution and contract with Waitrim. And the same rates, hourly rate they have, they are on the agenda today. Now, why do we have to pass a second contract for the same services which we agreed on last month? I hope you will just let the one which passed in 9A on 9/10/2024, and that's, what should stand. And if anything over $5,000 in services, we should follow the charter and we should go out for bid. Nothing of this, we know this guy, we know that guy. Everything should be going out for bid. And if people cannot handle their jobs, then they should either leave or be fired, because some people were fired for less than what we heard today here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul Haq. How you doing, sir? Please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on.
Ray Muscat, Havelock, Dearborn Heights. Real quick, I didn't catch what you all did with 9I.
We removed it.
And it just removed it, not going to look at it again?
No,
or-
we are. We'll take it to a study session.
Okay, because I seen it and I was gonna bring up 9I with a change order, and every time I see a change order, I kind of cringe. Cause I read the paperwork and talk about the conduit was too small. This is something that should have been very visible to the contractor.
That's why we removed it.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for looking out. I appreciate
A
it.
compliment to the council from former Councilman Muscat.
When you guys do a good job, you gotta give a compliment.
Yeah, I got.
When we do a bad job, you're so quick to bash
When
us.
you do a good job, you do a good job.
Thank you.
Ray,
We learn from the best.
You're an electrician.
Ray, this is for you. You don't.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience? Compliment from Ray. That's a great way to start this meeting. Next up, we have fund transfers and current claims.
Council Chair.
Council Chair, I do have something on Zoom.
I am so sorry.
That's okay. I
Forgive
am
me.
going to ask her to unmute.
Ms. Janoon, we see you. Please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on.
Sure. Najah Janoon, Dearborn Heights, and I on Whitefield Street. So sorry, I had every intention of attending tonight.
Hang on
but
1 second. There's nothing from the audience. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Janoon.
I was not able to attend. I ran to my car because my son has a soccer game in Bowling Green. So, anyways, I just wanted to congratulate and thank the council for recognizing Dr. Musallam. So, as you all know, he was awarded the 2024 National Superintendent of the Year. Really well deserved. And I wanted to thank him for doing everything he can to move the district forward and ensuring that there is transparency and thinking of and putting the community first always. The award is well deserved and it shows that the district's really made the right choice. So yes, I'd like to thank Lynn because I know she was a part of that several years back. And anyways, we just want him to know that we appreciate him and we want to again thank the council for recognizing him. So thank you all. Have a great night.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Dr. Musallam, you're pretty popular here tonight in these chambers. Must be nice to be a Musallam. Or it's married to the Turfy Bazzi, right? One of those. Next up, anyone else on Zoom? Seeing none, we're gonna move over to fund transfers and current claims.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
Move that Dearborn Heights City Council approve the current claims and C, ACH wire transfers 6-1 through 6-36 as submitted.
Support. Motion made by Councilman Saab. Did I hear almost a support from Councilman Constant?
You did.
All right, we're gonna go to Councilman Constant then.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab, any discussion?
Yes.
Councilman Ahmad.
I'd like to remove item number 14 as we got the information from the mayor regarding the 23,000, but not the 7,000.
I'm gonna tell you, I actually asked for this to come back on here, Councilman. And it's because, I want to be fair is fair. We requested for this to be on to get the report. The report was emailed to us, maybe not the right way, right? We asked for it. I know he gave it to Mr. Oon, aka Mr. Haskash, and to give it to us. But either way, it was received. I think it was received childishly, but it was still given to us. And so for that reason, I don't think IB Electric needs to stand before this anymore. I think the administration, and specifically the mayor, knows we're not joking when we say you're not going to spend any more money without our approval. It is what it is. But as far as, removing IB Electric's $7,000, I think it's time, we put this to bed. We settled this. The man did the work. I don't like the fact that he did the work, without the approval of the council or didn't go out for bids because that is illegal under the charter. But I could tell you right now, and I'll swear an oath, I'm never approving another dollar if it does not come before this council, and I'm not gonna support another position unless it comes before this council, because that's what the charter says, and we all swore that oath. Please, point of order, nothing from the audience, Mr. Abdul. Please,
Point of order, please.
nothing from the audience. So I think today we need to just put this to rest. There's been a lot of back and forth and, you know, look, IB Electric is a reputable company that has done almost every single part of this building and at the Justice Center and at the library, and at the senior centers.
This has nothing to do with IB Electric.
I
It's about the
understand.
process.
And I agree with you.
And the process was not followed. So you took an oath, an original oath, and stick to that oath. We're not gonna
We
take
we
another
did,
oath.
but we made a promise
No.
that if he gets the information that we would approve it.
He doesn't listen.
But you received it.
No, I did. You did not receive the $7,000 investigation.
Council Chair, yeah, I have to disagree with you this time.
Okay.
We did not receive the right investigation. We received the initial one. We just need to know through the investigation, who authorized the new contract for the $7,000.
Mayor, who authorized the $7,000 for the new contract?
Council Chair, I sent you the,
That was for the 23,000.
It has in there. No, that's for the whole thing, Council Chair. It's the whole thing. I sent it to all of you guys.
Well, I will tell you guys that I skimmed through it. You didn't get it?
I didn't get it from, I got it from,
Yeah, I got it from Mr. Owen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's that? I mean, what's that mean? You get it from an outside person, the doctor?
You have it too, Councilman. I can look it up right now. So
He
if
said
you look at your
he's-
emails, that's your problem.
Mayor, he's
I
saying,
send it to all
point of order, guys,
council
come on.
members.
You guys, nothing from the audience either, please.
I did send it to all council members and Mr. Owen, since you mentioned his name, he FOIA'd it
Yeah.
and he got it the same way.
So did the council have to FOIA in order to get it as
No,
well?
you got it too.
Why didn't you give it to us when we first
Because
asked
we were
for it?
waiting for the final investigation. That's what you received, the final investigation.
Nice. You know, the real adequacy would have been to email the council before you sent it to.
Council Chair, you get the final investigation. I told you I'll send it when it's final. It was final. I send it to you.
Thank
And
you.
when you
Any-
get a
any
big
other
deal out of it
discussion?
there, it was FOIA.
I mean, look, I'm gonna tell you, I think I stand where this is. But if the council wants to say, hey, if this was not the $7,000 investigation, did you work on the $7,000 investigation?
Council Chair, the whole work was entailed in the investigation, the whole work.
Okay, that's what I
So the
assumed.
only difference that between the 23,000 and the 7,000, the 23,000, we got reimbursed from DTE. The 7,000 we did
Who
not.
authorized the $7,000 work?
It's an investigation.
Can you say
I
it?
don't wanna mention somebody's name
Investigation
here.
over.
It's an investigation,
I know.
Council Chair.
Do you know who it was, what it said? I didn't read the entire investigation.
Well, I sent it 2 weeks ago, over
Did
2
you
weeks.
mention
If you guys look at it, it's in there. I don't want to mention people's names here, Council Chair.
If it's in the investigation, it doesn't matter.
It's foible.
Council, it does. It's in the investigation, but it's still ongoing litigation involving it, so I would not
Okay,
advise to say it, but it's in the investigation.
thank you, Roger. So Mayor, you don't want to say who it is?
It's an investigation.
I know.
Council Chair. I sent you exactly what you guys
Council
requested.
Chair, please,
It
let's
it
move
was
on.
not the administration, just to be clear.
Point of order.
It was not the city.
Council Chair, point of order.
Okay, we're not gonna spend all day on this.
Let's move on.
Let's just vote to either keep it or remove that one.
Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna honor Councilman Saabs to remove it. I try, you know, I'm trying to work with the administration. I really am. Like, I'm not trying to make this into a back and forth bickering. I actually asked, I think I was one that requested to put it on. Because they didn't even have it on. I requested for this to be on the agenda. But I will take it to a vote with elimination of
For number 14.
number 14. Okay? Motion to remove number 14. Motion made by Councilman Saab, second by Councilman Constant. With the amended motion, well, Councilman Saab,
I want
you
to,
amend your motion?
yes, to remove item 14.
Councilman Constant, do you approve that?
I think we should finally vote on this and get it done.
Well, that's what we're doing, but we're amending that motion. So if either your vote can go yes to remove it or no not to remove it.
Yes, to remove it.
Okay, so you support to removing it?
Yes.
All in favor?
Council
please-
Chair,
Yes, sir.
just get a comment. IB Electric deserves this money. I
Mhm.
mean, they did the work. It's not their fault. But it's a matter of principle and following the charter. And we gotta stick by our guns. We can't waver on this item and then someone else is gonna, we gotta stick to our guns and do the right thing, follow the rules completely. I'm sorry to IB Electric. I said at the last meeting that I wish we could pay them possible, but it's just a matter of principle right now.
Thank you. All right. Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Constant with the removal of 14. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye, me.
Okay, so you got a nay?
No.
Madam Clerk, please take roll call.
Hassan Ahmad,
Yes.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell,
Yes.
Hassan Saab,
Yes.
Tom Wenzel,
Yes.
Nancy Breyer,
No.
Robert Constant,
Yes.
and Moby Dun.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-1.
Thank you. Consideration of bids. There are none. Reports from the mayor. Funding Scout Services.
Council Chair,
Councilwoman Breyer.
I'd like to recommend the motion that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the proposal for funding Scout Services between the city and Wade Trim. In addition, authorize the mayor and controller or clerk to sign the necessary warrants and the treasurer to issue a one-time payment of $29,000 from GL account number 101-200-818.000 and $67,000 from GL account number 592-536-818.000 is outlined in 8A. And I'd like to throw in that they secured $26 million in grants.
Second. Motion made by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion?
Council Chair.
Yes, sir.
I know I'm sorry, I did email Mr. Deeb late today, but I saw some discrepancy in the contract. I know it says in the top 3 years, but if you go to the schedule, it says a 2-year. Are we looking, is this fee for a 3-year or 2 years? And I don't like the fact that before, what the grant was 3,000 a piece, now it's like open-ended kind of fees. I mean, beside the fact that they almost doubled their, their fees.
Okay, Councilman Ahmad, I'm sorry I didn't get your email.
I know, I'm sorry, I was kind of late today.
All day.
Yeah, I know.
But if you're looking at the 2-year, I think he's making reference to the past 2 years. In the first, so what he was able to accomplish in the.
No.
past 2 years.
If you look at the contract, it says proposal 3 years.
Okay.
But if you go down to the second page, or the third page, I'm sorry, the schedule. It says, assuming a notice to proceed as given by the owner before November 1st, 2024, we anticipate the extent for a period of 2 years through November 1st, 2026. So are we doing 2 years or doing 3 years?
2 years.
And is this, what's up?
This is for 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
So then the motion is wrong. And the fee, so we're looking at, this is 96,000 for 2 years?
Yes, so the reason for this is that we have a CIP schedule that we need to assistance with. That CIP schedule is supposed to terminate in 26. So that's the stuff that we have to complete by 26. So that's what the schedule is. So if we approve it today, it will go on until November
2026?
2026, yeah.
And the 96,000, that's for 2 years, correct?
Yes, so this is based on quarters, a number of quarterly schedules, and then the assistance with the stuff that they've provided work on. And I think you have in your package a list of what was planned and what's being, what was completed and what we have planned coming up.
Thank
Something
you.
like this.
Thank you, Mr. D. The issue that I have with this, they're only gonna cover number 1 and number 2. Number 3, which is the grant writing, before it was only 3,000, a file. Now it's like open-ended. It depends how much time it takes for them working on it.
It's time and material. So what it says time and material is based on it. So what we have list of projects. So the stuff that we obtained, the grants that were approved, I'm not paying any more on it, so there won't be any assistance needed on writing the grant. We will have assistance on filing, because these things are continuous. So you have progress reports every 3 months, you have meetings. So we pay time and material based on this. Now, the pending, which if we have identified new, and I just got a word today that they're working on a $250,000 to $500,000 annually for the fire department. So if we go after this and we have a good chance to get it, then we will pay progress. But we continue. I track the expenditures based on fees paid and grants awarded. And according to my numbers, we're less than 0.359% of fee paid versus, money, received. So I'm less than 1%. And this is only on the stuff that was approved. If I get the pending, which I have number of registers still pending, they're not denied. They're pending, pending earmarks. So if I receive that, my fee will go down to 0.29% of fee paid versus grant received. Return on investment wise,
So you're telling me what Wade Trim is not gonna be working on the grant writing right now? You're gonna be, they are?
On going forward, the grants that we received don't need any more application.
Correct, the new
Only need
applications.
the progress reports, and so that's working. And if we identify a new grant, like the fire department, today's grant, we just got it. If we identify a new grant that we want to go after and we qualify for, yes, they will provide assistance with that. And this is the one that we just got today.
So that's what I'm saying, but they don't have, like before, the contract we had before was
Mm-hmm.
3,000 per grant
Yeah,
they
it was-
applied for.
right.
Now they have it
Well,
open-ended.
it's not open-ended. It's called time and material.
Yeah,
So
well,
we agree
it's
on,
gonna-
well, you know, we did the same for CDBG. I mean, they have the same contract with CDBG. They give you the rates they charge for services provided, and then you pay those rates based on every assignment you give them.
You know,
So
you-
if you assign 10 hours, you agree on hourly rate and you pay it.
You know what happened here, Mr. Deeb?
No.
To me, Funding Scout was getting comfortable by saying, well, you know what? We were charging them $3,000. Now let's start charging them percentages. They do it with CDBG. I feel like once they got their foot on the door, they started,
You're not
upping their
charging
ante.
percentage. I'm sorry, these numbers I figured out. I track the performance of a consultant based on how successful they are. These are my numbers. I did those. The actual money. So he sends me this report on the grants that we actually have approval for. Because if you look on this spreadsheet, you'll see administrators and.
Can I ask you a
contact
couple of
person.
questions that a resident has asked me?
Okay.
The first question is, will any and extra charges be brought before the council prior to the project being started? So before a project starts, if there are additional fees, will you bring it before the council?
Beyond yes, absolutely.
Okay,
If
the
this goes
second question
beyond the
that
numbers
this
you
resident
approved-
had was, what was the total spent on Funding Scout to date, original contract plus all extras?
I can get you, I wish you sent me those. I have a jail, I can go check it.
Okay,
Council Chair, I think for the sake of time, I think for me to be comfortable, and I'm not sure about council members, I would like to table this, take it to a study session. Maybe we can get more explanation. Maybe Wade Trim can be here and to see exactly what did we get so far, how many grants we're working on, and weigh our options
that
between
information.
having them do it or somebody else. I don't know about the other
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab, are you done? Councilman
Thank
Len?
you, sir.
So I understand that we're out funding for grants, but why don't we hire an in-house grant writer?
Because of okay, so this is a specialty. So this is a specialty. A lot of these grant opportunity, we didn't even know existed. We didn't know if we qualified for them. So the one that was just brought in today is something called, we didn't even know existed. This is not normal, like, you know, you approach MDOT for pavement, or these are things. So this is, I didn't even know Medicaid reimbursement program passed a resolution. So the state of Michigan had a resolution called a ground emergency medical transportation program. Okay, so I didn't even know we qualify. It wasn't even.
But you're not a grant writer. You wouldn't know. You're an engineer.
No, I understand, but so his job is to try to match our needs with whatever is out there that we qualify for. So he's recommending approximately 250 to 500,000 annually if we pursue it. So this is something that wasn't even on my radar. If I pay him the fee, the stated time and material, and he can get me 250 to 500 annually, well, hell, that's a hell. I mean, that's a
Mr. Deeb, I have
return.
one more question, if that's okay, Mr. Saab. And this is still from the resident. Of the $26 million they've assisted in obtaining,
Uh-huh.
how much is still outstanding and not been awarded? Because we can say, hey, we reached out to
No,
get $26 million.
I'm sorry, maybe I didn't, grant awarded were 26,677,817 awarded. Pending is 5,365, 5,365,000. These are awarded. But please keep in mind, when I say awarded, no one writes you a check. So just like the check you saw from the Congresswoman, this is you get awarded. And there are things that you have to do. You have to go out and apply. I mean, it's, and then send a report and then verify.
You have to match, you have to match some funding.
Some of them have matches.
The one that we
absolutely,
approved.
and some do not. Yes, and you will have to approve it. Absolutely. And then a lot of them do have matches, and I'm going after the stuff that I need regardless. So if I can get 50 to 75% paid for by a grant, that means I'm saving that cost on my taxpayers. That's
Council Chair?
Yes.
Thank you. Waytrim's been with us for a long time and they've done a really good job helping out the city in many facets. Now, when you say that they look up these grants, so we have department heads that will also recommend a grant for them to look into a grant. What happens if they look into a grant, say for the firefighters?
Right.
And then they start documenting their time and material. And then they don't get the grant.
So that's not how it works. So what they do is they approach us first, the administrator, Mariana, myself, or the department head, and say, look, there are these things. Are you guys interested? So we look internally, find out if we have a good chance of receiving them. So far, their success rate of matching our needs to a grant have been in the 80-90%. So we don't go after and waste a consultant's time if I know, and there are a couple that we turned down. We didn't even approach. And we don't get charged for those. We just didn't approach them. But some of the stuff that we know we qualify for, and God knows we haven't been, we qualify for a lot because we haven't been doing that for years. So we tell them to do it, but I match them. So for the fire department, we go, I'm not the custodial of everything. So it goes to the fire. I'm working on one for the libraries. There are programs that we might actually qualify for the library. So we ask the department head, interested? Yes or no? And then we'll go that way. So only if we have a good chance, we approach it and pay the fee.
What happens if they're working on it and it's taking longer than they thought and we're jumping through hoops? Do they report to you and say, hey,
So this spreadsheet shows success, pending, and 2 that were denied. Out of 23, we only had 2 that we didn't have that were denied. So if you look at, we monitor this. I mean, I don't want to pay fee on something. So out of all these things, these were approved, these were pending legislatures, and only 2 were denied.
Is it possible to put a fee not to exceed? Something like that, or I mean.
Maybe the way we assign the work, we can say, on this, don't spend more than 10 hours or something. We can consider that, but this is no different than, so time and material is a normal industry standard. You agree on rates like you did on CDBG for our department. You have an hourly rate and you agree on that, but that's all they can bill. Maybe if you like, we can, for each assignment, give them, that will be more work on our staff, and say that for this assignment, I don't want you to go beyond 20 hours or so. We can do that.
All right, guys, we're spending a lot of time on this. I don't want to sit. I'm gonna let you go, Councilman.
Mr. Deeb, because they doubled the fee right now, the initial fee, plus, like I said, the grant writing is like open-ended. So how come they change all the?
They didn't double the fee. What they did is they added services. We asked them to add services. And the reason we did that is because I don't have any support staff. So if you look at, you do the application, all right? So we got approved. Now the next step is I'm the administrator, I'm the actual contact person, and Mariana is providing the support. But we don't have staff to do the progress reports, to do the meeting with the state. And they do a lot of meetings, and these things are back and forth. We need you to do, and there are a couple resolutions, I think, on 11A and B, and earlier there was a question from the audience. That's an example of what the state changes. So they wanted you to separate, and I know you approved those things, the CDBG-DR, but now they said, okay, well, now we have a new administrator, the old guy retired. Now he wants a separate resolution from you for each one, as opposed to one resolution for.
Mr. Deeb, let me tell you, if that's all right, Councilman, let me tell you the issue here that we're gonna have.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna approve this. Okay? And then these fees could be as high as God knows how long, and the council has no ideas because we approved it And it's nothing in here or in their contract says you're gonna come before council before any other fee.
Okay.
What if the fee's $10,000? What if the fee's $1 million?
You put,
We just blindly approve this.
you have a 96,000 total. If you add the two GLs, you have a 96. I can't go $1 more without coming to you. So you have that in the council.
No, we're talking about the other services. like-
Yeah, the rate, it's, again, if that goes beyond, I will come to you.
We don't know that though.
Put that in the, put that in the.
Technical.
What's that,
put that in the
Councilwoman?
Motion.
I think we need a study session. We're discussing this way too much for just an agenda item.
Yeah.
Put that in the
Look,
motion.
We look at.
Brianna, please make it brief. I wanna wrap this
It's
up.
brief. So, as we have done this current 2 years, every time that we have a new grant that we apply for, they send us an invoice and it's typically over the $1,500 and all of those have come to you in claims. So you have seen and approved every single application that has gone beyond the original 96,000 contract. So that's typically how you see it. Again, you can approve or deny, and if you deny it, then we don't pay it. But that is how we have been showing it to the council in the past. If you want to change that, we can discuss that further. But just to clarify, again, no penny spent without your approval. It may not be in the contract itself, but it does come in claims as the grants come up.
I wish you were able to share this, whatever the sheet you were showing. I mean, if you guys share
So
stuff
we
with us,
shared
it would
that
be
with
easier for
you.
us to make decisions.
We shared that with you 2 weeks ago and we asked if there were any
I wish-
questions.
I mean, it could have been easier with this motion to see
It-
exactly.
It wasn't in this
No, it
motion.
wasn't ready at the time, yeah.
I'll be happy to email it to everyone. I'll help, I'll mail it.
Okay, guys, motion made by Councilwoman any other discussion? Motion made by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by Councilman Constant. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
And clerk, please take roll call.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell,
No.
Hassan Ahmad,
No.
Nancy Breyer,
Yes.
Robert Constant,
Yes.
Hassan Saab,
No.
Tom Wenzel,
Yes.
Mo Bedun.
No. Thank you.
Motion's defeated.
Next up, we have Ally, I think it's supposed to say vacating, request Ford Road between Berwin and Norborn.
Council Chair.
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve of the alley vacation for the alley off Ford Road between Berwin and Norborn. If approved, a utility easement will be part of the closure as outlined in 8-B.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? This is long overdue. I know I went ahead and I visited Al Sayed Meats the other day. This is something that they have requested for quite some time. We spoke, her and I, and briefly with Ali as well. And I brought it up with Mr. Deeb. Mr. Deeb brought it before us. I know I asked the clerk, I thought we had already voted on this, but with all the recognition and everything going on, hopefully this passes. I see it passing unanimously. I think Mr. Deeb has said many times, give away the alley, give away the alleys. And so here we are, we're giving this alley over to business owners if this gets passed today, which is basically no longer on the residents and the taxpayers. It'll be on the landlords and those who own those buildings.
Council Chair, I think it's one down, many to go. Hopefully we can work on the others, like Ellie's.
Yes.
And congratulations to Sayed Meat Market. I guess 2 and 1 today.
Yeah.
Recognition and an alley.
Well, let's take this to a vote. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it unanimously. Congratulations, guys. Next up, we have Open Fiber Metro Act Permit Extension.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
Move that Dearborn Heights City Council approve the Metro Act permit extension for open fiber and authorize the mayor and clerk to sign this document as outlined in 8C.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Next up, we have Council Chair Baidoon policy regarding public comments at city council meeting.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
Move that Dearborn Heights City Council change the agenda and add the following section. Members of the public, A, comments from council members, B, announcements, C, public comments.
Yeah, Council Chair, I'm sorry, Councilman, it's Councilman Wenzel's motion, so I think maybe.
Well, yeah, it was.
Well, that's fine. He can read it. Yeah. I was
Okay.
gonna say there was a mistake. 'Cause this was my motion that I put in, but go ahead, Councilman Saab.
If this motion passes, it could give council and the public the opportunity to speak at the beginning of the meeting and again at the end of the meeting, and will take effect immediately as of this meeting, October 8th, 2024 is outlined in 9C.
A motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman,
It's outlined in 9A. 9A. Yeah, didn't I say that?
No.
You said 9C.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So-
9A.
motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilwoman Menalowski Maxwell.
Second.
For Councilman Wenzel.
That's Councilman Wenzel supported.
Okay, I waited and you said it, so thank you for that. I know this is something that Councilman Wenzel brought up last meeting, but this was also something I had emailed the clerk with a couple of weeks before that, and we were requesting to put this on because it was Councilman Ahmad. I think all the council members you have said, so I don't want to take any recognition for this, and I believe Clerk Lincinia Minio spoke, and I said, please make sure that Councilman Wenzel's on this resolution as well, because when watching the meeting, he brought it up. There were just a few things that I would not agree with, that I didn't add to this, was that we are gonna allow to hear from the residents on every single agenda item and being able to stop the meeting, hear from them and let them comment on every single thing while we're going. I think that would have been a little too much. These meetings are supposed to be strictly business. And it's, you want to give an opinion or have a public comment for 3 minutes, move it on the front and speak at the end. By all means, let's go ahead and do that.
Council Chair.
Yes, sir.
Just to be clear, so they're allowed to speak in the beginning on agenda items or anything they want to say, and they have 2 minutes still?
They're gonna have 3 minutes.
So they have 3 minutes in the beginning and 3 minutes at the end if they still wish to?
Yeah, because I mean, you look, at the end of the day, you're no longer gonna need agenda item. You can speak an agenda item through your public comment.
So 3 minutes for both, talking on the, discussing agenda item or saying whatever they want to say.
Or are you saying, Madam Clerk, are we doing public comments, agenda items, start the meeting and then go back to council members and then public comments again?
Council Chair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Council Chair, in this motion, it says it'll be effective this meeting, and obviously it won't because we were planning on putting it ahead of, right after the approval of the agenda. But so just to make things easy, we decided to keep it at 9A in order and start this new procedure at our next meeting. And what it is you would comment, it wouldn't say comment on agenda items, you could comment on anything. And at the beginning, you can make announcements through the directors or someone or the comments from council members, because a lot of times, like Councilwoman Breyer has really important things to say about meetings. It takes place at the end of the meeting where a lot of people have left and they turn their TVs off or so it's important that things like this be said at the beginning of the meeting and then allow public comment at the end of the meeting, because things might happen during the meeting that they want to comment on that they didn't know about at the beginning.
So you have in the front and at the end?
Front and the back, yeah.
Okay, you got it.
Council Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
before you go ahead with the motion, are we going to have times for
Yes.
okay. So you have to let us know what time at the beginning and what time at the end.
I think we're just gonna match what's in the front and we're gonna match what's in the back. I think that's fair.
Put the front one during comments on agenda items. Right, in that place, right? Wherever the
Yes.
comment on agenda items is, for the minutes.
So we're not gonna do public comments on agenda items anymore. We're just gonna do public comments and they can,
Yeah.
okay.
Agenda item / comment, whatever they want to say.
Okay,
So I would say give them
literally
3
whatever.
minutes, but not, that they cannot come up twice. One time, 3 minutes, say whatever they want to say, agenda items.
Then, but if they wanna come back at the end at public
They
comment,
can, but
they
not
can as well.
at
So
the
they're
beginning.
So a resident will have 2 turns. Once in the beginning and once at the end. But what they won't be able to do is be able to speak in between everything. I also think in the beginning, we should be able to allow first 2 minutes. I don't think you need to allow 3 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
3
where-
minutes
I
might
mean,
be a
you're
little too
trying
excessive.
to- Yeah,
Which is a great thing. Thank you. 2
so
minutes.
2 minutes at the beginning
Yes, 3 minutes at the end.
and 3 minutes.
All right, let's wrap this up. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, we have 9B, Clerk Senior Institution of Responsive Government Grant.
Council Chair.
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council receive, know and file the 30,000 grant that was awarded from the Institute of Responsive Government, a non-partisan nonprofit organization tax exempt under Internal Revenue Code IRC Section 501(c)(3). The grant funds must be used exclusively for the non-partisan public purpose of planning and operationalization, secure, efficient, and accessible election administration. The grant's term is June 1st, 2024 through May 31st, 2025. In addition, authorize the comptroller to set up or modify the appropriate general ledger accounts to accept the grant and provide expenditure as outlined in 9-B.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, second by Councilman Saab. Any discussion on that?
Council Chair,
Yes, sir.
we have the clerk give us, what do you plan on doing with this money?
It's just in the beginning. Okay, 30,000 really doesn't go a lot way. But our equipment, our tabulators that go out to each precinct, I think were purchased in 2017. And so we're looking at those are 6,000 apiece. We have 27 precincts right now.
Wow.
Also, what Deputy Clerk Flaman and I have been discussing was, we really need new handicap booths. And you can get those where I've talked to other clerks, and it's like a four booths, which would be 3 regular and 1 handicapped. Those are 1,000 apiece. So we really haven't, once the presidential election is over, the November 5th election is older, we'll look more into it. So we have a little
You need
ways.
a lot more money than that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
$162,000 just for the tablets.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. But, so those are our ideas right now. And those are big ticket items.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in,
I'd just like to make a
Yes, ma'am.
comment. Lynn is out there doing everything she can to make sure we have the best election possible.
applause to Lynn, huh?
Thank you.
Let it be known, we have the best clerk in the country. I promise you guys that. She's so good, she even got Dr. Musalam his seats.
I mean, I did approve his, I didn't vote for him, you know, that was a very good.
All
Very
in favor,
good
please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, we can never get our eyes right, huh? Motion carries. 9C,
19,
removed.
19. Yeah, 19.
Council Chair.
Yeah, you're right. 19.
9C is removed. Next up, we have 9D, Brownfield Administrator Roscoe, 2024-2025 Proposal Brownsfield Redevelopment Authority Budget.
Council Chair.
Councilwoman Breyer.
I'd like to make a motion that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the 24 to 2025 proposed brownfield budget adopted by the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Board on August 14, 2024 is outlined in 9D.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by Councilwoman Menalowski Maxwell. Any discussion on that?
Council Chair,
Yes, sir.
Tom Roscoe, he's doing a fantastic job with the TIFA money that we receive. A lot of people don't even know what he does and where this money goes. I mean, we have one ordinance officer that is funded, a lot through the TIFA and in the TIFA areas and helping out with every building that the city owns in the TIFA area. I mean, he's doing a fantastic job and he doesn't want any credit. I know that, and he's kind of blushing right now, but Tom, you're doing a great job and keep it up. You're an asset to our community.
Thank you, Tom. We appreciate you. We fully support you. Any other discussion? Thank you, Councilman. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Next up, we have Comptroller Shepherd, Annual Financial Audit and a Single Audit Engagement Letter Renewal.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve of the 1-year renewal option on the contract with Allen C. Young and Associates PC for the City of Dearborn Heights Annual Financial Audit and Single Audit, and authorize the mayor and the clerk to sign the contract on behalf of the city. In addition, authorize the mayor and the comptroller to sign the necessary warrants and authorize the treasurer to issue payment from GL account 101-223-817-000 as outlined in 9E.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. I will start off the discussion on this. I know this was something that I asked to be tabled and be removed. I actually met with, or not met, but got on a Zoom call with Allen C. Young and Associates. I actually spoke with the partners. I was also accompanied with our honorable comptroller. I shared and expressed myself. They have given me, they've given the city of Dearborn Heights a 100% full commitment and support. They've even acknowledged that, they should be reaching out to the separate entities. And, a lot of these, companies forget the fact that the administration is an entity and this body is a completely different entity. I said, so sometimes when you're speaking to the administration, we have no idea. And then, we start asking questions and like, oh, well, we told the administration. Well, you didn't, that information didn't come before us. So I spoke with Alan Young and his members, and I was really frank, to be frank with you guys. I really enjoyed the conversation. We talked for a little bit over an hour. And they've assured us that, hey, they're going to give us their 100%. And they're not as big as that we really thought that they were, that they are a small mom and pop shop, and Dearborn Heights is extremely important to them. So I want, they were able to change my mind. At the end of the day, if you guys want to stand, however you guys stand, but I can tell you right now, I felt very, very comfortable after that meeting.
Council Chair,
Councilman Saab.
kind of feel that they can, be honest with you, say what they want, but when it came down to the budget and the audits, I think they failed, not us, they failed the whole city. And then anybody coming in for a new contract can tell you, hey, we're gonna give you 100%. Or your
We're just renewing, we're paying the second part. We've already approved this contract from 2 years ago.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not happy with them.
Any other discussion?
Council Chair, I'm sorry I missed that meeting, but I trust your judgment, and I think it's too late in the game now to go out for bidding. So I would say let's go ahead and approve this. And this is gonna give us another year just to make sure if they're gonna do a good job, and because I'm pretty sure they wanna keep, doing business with the city.
And look, they felt the pressure. I will tell you guys that 100% they felt the pressure, and we were able to do our part. Please, guys, nothing from the audience, please. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave if you do it again. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
And clerk, please take roll call.
Nancy Breyer,
Yes.
Robert Constant,
No.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell,
Yes.
Hassan Saab,
No.
Hassan Ahmad,
Yes.
Moby Dun,
Yes.
Wenzel.
He's absent right now.
Yep, okay, motion carries 4-2.
Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Next up, we have IT 9F, IT Director Cooper, Managed Detection and Response with Security Awareness Training.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the purchase and payment of the 2-year upgrade to manage the detection and response with the potential need of hardware, DO tokens, and security awareness training from BAE Network for a monthly cost based on $15 per workstation server per month plus $50 per firewall per month plus $442 per month for security awareness training, with the cost of hardware, DO tokens not to exceed an initial cost of $14,913 and an onboarding cost of $299. In addition, authorize the mayor and comptroller or clerk to sign the necessary documents and the treasurer to issue payment from account 101-258-728-001 as outlined in 9-F.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion on this?
Council Chair,
Yes.
I had a conversation with Director Cooper today. This is something I think we need in the city. For probably he can explain it better about for security purposes for all the computers and the cyber what do you call it again, cyber security. So this is something that we need. The way it's structured here, because it depends how many computers we have to install the software on. So I think this is something that we need to move forward with to protect our city and our information.
Please, a quick 1-minute synopsis on this.
This is actually multi-facet cybersecurity. This is our multi-factor authentication. That is a need for us. This is our managed monitoring of our systems so that if it does detect a intrusion, if it does detect a potential cybersecurity threat, the proper people can get notified and we can take advantage of it. This is a very proactive response to protect our data of the residents, to be frank with it. This being proactive is much cheaper than being reactive.
So have we felt like we've been somewhat in jeopardy or being breached at any point since you've been here?
I can tell you that, one particular account has been compromised. Literally last week, the county, Wayne County was compromised. This is not something you want to wait to react on, with it. So.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Council Chair?
Councilman, can we make it quick?
Yeah, well, I got Dr. Cooper up there. You said, the monitor the equipment. My laptop here and any iPad or something that say the ordinance officer has, is that all, anything that goes through these, are they monitored?
The antivirus malware software that we use, right now, we currently have a kind of a baseline package with this. This will increase our package, which will start to help detect.
Well, yeah, my question is, any email I send or any kind of conversation I have on my laptop?
That's different, sir.
No, I'm saying is, I'm asking you a question. Is that monitored?
Yes.
So, and
Do I monitor your email?
No, is it monitored? Can somebody, and I'll ask you who has access to my laptop, all the information that I have on my laptop here and all these people and any laptop and computer in the city is
the Sentinel one does not monitor the contents of of an email or log. It's monitoring your login, access.
Can it be read? Can it be read?
Yes.
Well, technically, all the emails are stored. Yes.
And then
As of
kind of
right now,
communication?
I'm the only one that has access to that. This system does not go into that.
But you need the permission from the mayor in order to approve anything that's sent.
Yeah, because it documents every time I would even go in to look at it.
Why?
So
Why do you have access to all that information?
somebody has to.
I mean, if I communicate with Councilwoman Maxwell, so you can read our emails?
Everything is stored.
Can I have access to all that?
Point of order, please.
No, can I have access to all that information, please?
Through a FOIA, yeah.
Oh, I know. Why? Do you FOIA stuff?
He doesn't need a
I don't go into it and look at it, sir. I don't sit there and say, hey, I'm bored, let me go and look at an email.
Hang on one second. The councilman's question is, you have the capabilities of being able to see what comes in and out. That's not asking if you would do it. Do you have those capabilities?
Yes. Yeah.
Who else has those capabilities?
Nobody.
Okay. But you sent an email the other day to the treasurer saying that without the mayor's approval, she's not allowed to email the entire thing without his approval. So now, without a FOIA, your boss, who you work for the city of Dearborn Heights, is making the decision whether she can email everybody in the city now, or she has to single-handedly choose them all, which you can also have the capability of stopping or refraining from happening. That's correct?
So a monitor distribution list, was set up so that not anybody, a disgruntled employee or anything, can just email the whole entire staff.
I don't think this council is going to do anything, or any elected official can do anything disgruntled. And I think if at the very least, the residents have already chosen every single person that has been elected here, not you and not the mayor. Those decisions are not made by you or Bill Bazey. Those decisions were made by the taxpayers and the residents of Dearborn Heights. And what's happening here is, what I'm seeing is more of dictatorship is what I'm seeing. And I'm going to tell you right now, when I read that email, I had something written very ugly and nasty, especially with everything that was going on, but I said I was being too emotional. I want you to know what the councilman is saying right now, 100% is illegal. And if you think it's not, and I'm not, I don't care what the Corporation Council Roger is going to say. I've already contacted somebody from Lansing and they said 100% the decision should not be made by you or the administration to freaking email anybody in the city. Because I'm going to tell you, when the budget was happening, an email was sent out to the mayor, to the entire city, of every employee. You know what I had to do to respond and rebuttal what the mayor said? Because the information that he was giving was not truthful and it wasn't honest. I had to email every single person one by one because you stripped that away from me as an elected official. You don't have that authority. So I'm going to tell you, you either give that authority back to every elected official in the city, or I'm going to put a resolution to go out and we're going to fund out and we're going to find a new IT department that's going to be outsourced. So it's not being dictated by the administration. Because at the end of the day, nobody makes the decisions for this council, this clerk or the treasurer or the clerk. And that's what's happening right now. You told us in an email that the mayor had to approve what the treasurer emailed to the employees in the city. That's not up to you and the mayor.
Council Chair.
Well, hang on 1 second. I'll answer you in a second.
When you're done informing.
I just want you to know, you should have at least come before the council and said, would you guys allow the mayor to be the person that makes that final decision? But instead, You gave the authority to the mayor and said she can't voice her opinion to everybody. Nothing is disgruntled from what she said in that email. But instead you determined it was disgruntled based on the discretion of the mayor. That's unfair and that's not right. And I know you know that's not all right. Go ahead, Mayor.
When an email is sent, it's gonna give misinformation to the employees. It is my job to make sure the email is legit before it goes to all the employees. The email.
Hang on, guys, point of order.
Chair,
Nothing from the audience.
Functional. Okay,
Please, nothing from the audience, please.
I think he's got a PPO not to.
Please, Mayor, forget about it. That's okay.
Okay, no, I understand, but
Let's not talk
there's
about that
something with the Wayne County prosecutor from being here.
No.
Anyway.
Hey, point of order, please, please, Mayor, point of order, please, let's not discuss that.
But anyway, there's a police report. But anyway, with that, when there's misinformation, it's gotta go to all the employees. I have to make sure, my job, to make sure all the emails are accurate and correct. There was an email that was gonna be sent to the employees, to all the employees, and I just wanted to make sure that the employees have the facts. That's it.
But Mayor, I want you to know that's not your authority to make.
It is when you go through
Okay.
all the city employees.
Then you know what
that they have-
authority we're gonna make? Hang on. Then the authority I'm gonna make is come next Tuesday, at the next city council meeting, I'm gonna put a resolution to defund the IT department for the city. And we're gonna go out for bids and we're gonna outsource it. And so that we're not making the dictatorship between you or this council. Clearly, there's a separation here, right here. And I'm not, what I'm seeing here is that you're gonna make the final decision, right? If I can say something to the employees or if the clerk can say, or if the treasurer can.
Yeah.
And really, that's unfair. Roger, please, point of order. I don't wanna get into the discussion on it. The mayor has his, thoughts on it. I think this council, including the clerk and the treasurer, please, ma'am, have their own discretion on it. I don't need you to define and go back and forth with me on it. Please, Roger.
Council Chair, no disrespect
Roger,
to you.
please, let's define and go back.
I'm just asking you, Council Chair, you kindly put it in a written format so I can see exactly what you're talking about and what you're referencing, and we can look, and you can get an opinion, and I can get an opinion, because what we didn't want to do is have certain information, like forfeiture monies, which come under different statutes, passed out or circulated. And I think that if you put it in writing, they'll give us all a chance to look at it and give transparency. Council Chair, I'm
Roger,
just
well, you
speaking.
spoke without even my
I hadn't-
permission,
I
so.
thought, I thought you said point and gave me
Yeah,
permission.
no,
In any
yeah.
case, I can speak according to the charter when I see an issue that comes up.
Through the-
So I'm
through the-
just
through
speaking
the
that
chair's
how,
permission, Roger.
I'm just speaking that how we need to make sure, put it in writing, and then there's no favoritism, there's total transparency, and then a written opinion can be disseminated to all the parties.
Thank you, Roger.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I just want you to know, Lisa, go ahead. I'll give you 30 seconds on this. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have to. Okay. Because that email, all due respect to the mayor, you talked about misinformation. It was a policy. It was a policy change that needed to go to all of the city employees based on a conversation that Plant Moran and I had, that we agreed to change the policy, existing city policy on cashing personal checks for employees. We decided no longer to do that. It had been done for years and years and years. We decided, Plant Moran and I had agreed to that. They recommended, and I agreed, to send out the memorandum, which I did. That's what you saw attached to that. Well, you probably didn't see the email because it was intervened to not warrant, it didn't need to go out or didn't want it to go out, but then you turned around and sent your own email about it out. That's all I have to say. Thank you. Well.
Thank you. All right, this is completely off the topic grid, but we're talking about this. I just wanted to get that off my chest after reading that email. And then I know the councilman brought it up, so I just wanted to, really say my part. Councilman, once, I'm sorry that I went on that tantrum.
Council Chair, I'm sorry, but do you mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
But for all fairness, I mean, it's not Director Cooper. It's basically his following requests and orders. So it's not him. But whether we send an email by email or we send to the all employees at the same time, they're still gonna get the message. So it doesn't make sense. And for the mayor to sit here and monitor every single email that goes out. No, that's not it. To be honest with you, with all due respect, that's not his job. His job is to take care of the city and move the city forward instead of slowing the city down and sitting down and monitoring emails. That's spirit, to be honest with you. This is really, I don't know what else to say, but this is sickening at this point that we have to sit here at the council meeting and discuss that the mayor of the city is sitting down and looking at emails.
Council Chair.
Yes, Mayor.
Again, that's misinformation. There was an email that was sent to me to approve that one email. I don't have time, excuse me, point of order. Put your councilman in check, please.
Come on.
So
point
I
of
can
order.
tell you, Council Chair,
Do your job.
Point of order. Guys, come on, let's.
okay,
wrap
we're
this
gonna
up.
run this, I don't need to speak, you guys, I mean.
No,
Okay,
you gotta
so
stop.
This is enough. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Go ahead.
Okay, I got an email to send it to all staff and it was a misinformation. Somebody was cashing checks. All I asked a question and you guys put it out there. Let's speak about it. Okay, there was checks. I have no idea who was cashing checks, personal checks that the city was accepting. And actually, I'm gonna send that one, another case to state police to look into. Because when you have actual checks, you're writing a check for the city. If you guys think it's a joke, you think it's funny? No, seriously, you guys think it's a joke? You got a few councilmen laughing. How do you know what checks? If you write a check, anybody writes a check and goes to cash it at the cashier. How do you know if that check actually cleared? How do you know which account that check is coming out of? That's all I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that there was a process in place. That's what my concern. I wanted to make sure if you take a check, if you cash a check, you take a check for, maybe it's from the water fund, which we know that's illegal, right? So that's the thing. I had no idea. I needed the information and there was a misinformation email that was sent out. And I wanted to make sure we get it cleared before we send an email to all the employees. When I sent an email, who is cashing the check? There's only one person. If only one person is cashing checks, then why are you sending it to all the employees? That was my question.
Mayor, so please stop, guys, and we're gonna end this here. Mayor, her response was letting all of the employees know. So in the past, for those at home are watching, in the past, before this treasurer, before even our former treasurer, employees, when they got their check, before they got direct deposit, they were able to cash it in with the city.
No,
Okay, so.
Personal check.
Hang on.
Personal check.
1 second, Mayor, please. I totally agree with the mayor. You should not be able to do that. And I think Plant Moran and the treasurer both also agreed. You guys were both saying the same thing. And so all the treasurer was doing was sending an email on what you were saying. You're no longer allowed to do this anymore. And you stopped it. Now, I'm not going to go back and forth into this discussion. I want you to know something, Mr. Cooper. I'm very disappointed at the fact that you're stopping us from the council or any elected official for that matter, be able to send out an email. We're still going to get our message out. Rather you say we can do it all at once. Or I have to reach out to the clerk and say, let's do it single-handedly, one by one. Because it doesn't make a difference. I just think that's a little petty micromanaging and it shouldn't be happening. Without any further discussion on this,
I'm sorry, Council
Yes.
Chair.
quickly,
I
please.
just want to let you know that the clerk's office does have access to 2 different state programs and both of them have the multi-factor.
Thank you.
So that's the motion.
Thank you. Hearing no other discussion, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, we have IT Director Cooper, purchase and payment of Mitel upgrades and repairs.
Mitel.
Mitel.
Council Chair,
Councilman Constant.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the purchase and payment of Mitel Systems upgrades, removal of the need of POTS lines and training from BSB Communications for a cost not to exceed $28,765.68. In addition, authorize the mayor and comptroller or clerk to sign the necessary warrants and the treasurer to issue payment from account number 101-258-728-001 for $15,304.38 and account 101-258-932-000 for $13,461.30 is outlined in 9G.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Constant, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you.
Next up, we have IT Director Cooper updates, or PDK, I'm sorry. IT Director Cooper PDK update.
Council Chair.
Yep.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council to approve the purchase and payment of PDK updates and integration from BAE Network for a cost not to exceed $14,280. In addition, authorize the mayor and comptroller or clerk to sign the necessary warrants and the treasurer to issue payment from account 258-932-000 as outlined in nine
Council Chair,
dash H.
I apologize for interrupting rudely. Should we be giving out account numbers in public? I don't.
Yeah, we always have.
Is that?
You can give it,
No problem.
on a check, there's an account number.
Okay, I didn't want to maybe giving it to the public or be.
Yeah.
Second.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilman Saab. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. As you see here, Mr. Cooper, you've gotten the support unanimously of this council and this body. Let's hope it can be a two-way street for us, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next up, we have 9I is being removed. We have 9J, Police Chief Swope purchase and payment of flock safety cameras.
Council Chair.
Councilman Saab.
Move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the payment for 20 additional flock cameras originally approved by City Council Motion 24-333. In addition, authorize the mayor and the comptroller to sign the warrant. Expand this payment in the amount of $136,600 to be paid out of the forfeiture account 265-330-831-265 and authorize the treasurer to pay from this account as outlined in 9J.
Support.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Saab, seconded by Councilman Ahmad. I will start the discussion by saying thank you to Chief Swope. Thank you to Councilman Saab. Councilman Saab, actually, this was his initial, resolution. He brought it before this council, and then Chief Swope here brought it before this body. So you can see we're all here working together. And this is just another, pivotal point to letting you guys know that the council is not here to defund anything in the police department. We just want to write proper policy and procedure coming for the council. We'll even help out the police department because we love and support our police officers.
Council Chair,
Yes, sir, Councilman, Wenzel.
the $136,000, that's to purchase and install these cameras?
I believe so, yes.
What about monitoring? Is there an additional cost for monitoring these?
Yes.
Well, that, I think they'd have to come with a program first and then that would come before us as well.
Okay.
No, that's part of the contract. But Chief.
Good evening.
Good evening, Chief.
We already have the program to monitor the license plates that come across the system. So we already have that. So these cameras would be just addition to the cameras we currently have. So we're just getting more data from them. And we already have the system to read the data that we receive.
Is there a person that monitors the monitoring?
Yeah, so our officers get hits on license plates and they're able to monitor the cameras. So in regards to monitoring, are you talking about audits? Audits of information. So anytime there's any type of inappropriate use, we conduct investigations. We also do spot checks of how officers are, performing their duties and making sure that they're operating things appropriately. Our officers are trained annually on security awareness, and they know what they can and cannot do. Anything that's brought to our attention saying that they're not doing it properly, then we'll have to deal with that.
Is this 100% automated where there's no person entering data or looking at data? It's just available for the officers to look at?
Yeah, that's correct. So the camera picks up, let's say, a license plate, and it just if that license plate had previously been reported stolen or wanted, or maybe a missing person is attached to that license plate, it will send a notification to the system, and the system will send an alert to the computer for the police car, or to an application on a phone or wherever the application is installed, and then the officer will then be able to see where that car is.
So this system is integrated in many cities in the area? Is that how it
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Most cities have this flock system right now. So I know all the local cities around us have it. I'm not sure about Inkster. But Garden City, Westland, Dearborn, and there's a lot of them. So it's great information because we share information with other cities as well.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, we have 9K Police Chief Swope Patrol Budget Amendment.
Council Chair.
Councilwoman Breyer.
I'll make the motion that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the amendment to the police department salaries and fringe benefit accounts to allow for the hiring of 10 additional police officers by 1, adjusting the 2024-2025 patrol officer budgetary staffing maximum from 45 employees to 55 employees. 2, amending the police salaries budget 101-300-706, .000 by transferring $705,000 into the account which will fund the 10 additional police officer positions. 3, amending the police department fringe benefit account 100-300-726, .000 by transferring $699,300.30 into the account to cover the fringe benefits for the additional patrol officers. In addition, authorize the comptroller to amend the budget general ledger accounts accordingly as outlined in 9K.
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by Councilman Constant.
Council Chair.
Any discussion?
Yes. So Chief Swope, we said that we would definitely approve any police officers to come here, but where's this money coming from?
And that's exactly what I'm here for, right? So we know we need the police officers in
Absolutely.
the city. We know that, at budget time, we talked to council and, you stated, we need more police officers. We need the money to hire more police officers. We have no more money in our budget, for police officers. If I did, I'd find a way to hire these officers. I spoke with the patrol union, President Sneer, who stated that he also had conversations with members of council about, if they need police officers that, we would come up with a way together, right? To find a way, to hire these officers. So with that being said, I think that, we're going to take you up on your word on how we can come up with that money to hire these officers so we can, provide a great level of service to the community.
Second, Shannon, by chance, is there any money available in any account that we can move around to amend? Sitting?
While she's getting up, my question, Chief, is 100%. Like I said here, we 100%, you know this, because we've sat down and you have debunked anything that anybody has said that the council is trying to defund the police, because me and you sat in a room and you said, I know that that's not what you guys are doing. But there's two things here that I have questions on. First, before, we hear from our comptroller, we will support you. You tell us where we're going to get it from. We will support that. But we can't just magically think of, where we're going to bring it or say to us, I want you guys to approve it and you guys have to figure out where it's coming from. We don't have those numbers. But as the police chief, just like you broke down on how to be able to get those civilian positions, break down on how to get these 10 positions. And if it makes sense, we're going to have 10 more police officers.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's fine. It's one of those things where there's only so much money, right? And I'm sure you guys understand that as well, right?
Yeah, but I don't want anybody to look at this today and say, well, look, the council did it again. They,
Right.
they couldn't find the money, so they blame, they start pointing the finger, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah,
So on
well,
record,
I can't stop people.
we both know that that's not happening here today.
Yeah, so I can't stop people from thinking what they want to think or what they do think. But what I can do is come up here and ask for something that the police department needs respectfully.
Yeah.
If you guys can't, obviously, allow that to happen just because it can't happen. I understand that as well.
Thank you.
But I do want, everyone to know that, I care for the city. I care for the police department. I appreciate the relationships I've built here. And, I will continue to find ways to pay for these police officers if I can do so. If anyone has any ideas, I know the councils, you guys are financial experts. You guys have been doing this a long time. So I will take any suggestions that you might have. Due to the fact that you have seen other areas of our budget to where maybe we can recapture some of that. But it's public safety is a big deal to me, and I'm sure to everyone in the room. And I would love to provide services such as traffic bureau officers, community police officers, and additional patrolmen for the shifts themselves. So I understand if that's not something we can do right now. But I did want to take you up on your offer to come here and have the conversation.
Oh, and I thank you for bringing it, and we're gonna ask our controller right behind you there in a minute if there's any money in the budget available. That if not, then if we can put 2, 3 officers in to start off with that.
So any additional money would have to come from fund balance.
So there's no money allocated anywhere else in the city right now, other than fund balance. That we can move
It's
around.
allocated already to certain line items. So
That's
you can
right.
move things
Right.
within the police department. That'll be up to you guys to decide what you wanted to do, but it's a net zero. You're not gaining any money to pay for this
Council Chair.
unless it comes from fund balance.
Thank you, Council.
Yeah.
Thank you, Council Chair. Well, obviously, we all agree that we need more police officers, but the issue here is having the money. And since I think we cannot vote on this today. We need to table it or send it back to the administration, have the administration work on it, or take it to a study session. We'll give the controller more time to think about it or to look into it with the chief, with the administration at the study session, because we're talking almost $1.5 million here. We're not talking.
It's actually a bit less than that because, we're almost a quarter into the new budget.
Well, this
Also,
is a full-time officer. You need more, I mean.
right, but the numbers here, and these are, you salary these at like lateral positions, right?
Yeah, so this is salaried right in the middle. Right?
Okay.
So right in the middle. So not the cheapest at 60, but not the most expensive at 81.
This is patrol officer, not command, so.
No, right.
Chair? Yeah. Okay, guys, Chief, are all the positions in the police department that were budgeted for filled?
Yeah, so we have 43 filled and we have 2 in background. And then we have 4 additional on a list after those 2 in background. So we obviously aren't going to be able to get to those 4, but the 2 that are in background will put us at our 45 total.
Now,
correct.
that's what was budgeted for, 45?
That is correct.
Why don't we do this, George? Can you get us onto a Tuesday? Chiefs, you think by next Tuesday you can come up with something so that you can get us to know between you and the comptroller where this money can come from? So that way we can help support this?
I'll definitely do my best to, come up with as much as we possibly can to,
Because we're all saying we all want to be on the same page. But we also want to make sure, I'm not the police chief to operate the budget for the police chief.
Yeah.
I made that very clear. We had,
well, I understand that, but
Yeah.
what I would like to say is, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was given a budget, right? I was told I had to operate within the budget, which is perfectly fine. That's how we're supposed to do things. But then I was told, if you need something, come ask. So we're here asking, and now it's back on me to find the money when there is no money.
Yeah, hold on.
Right.
Yeah, chief, hold on. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now exactly how I feel, and I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into this shouting match with you, but what I'm gonna tell you is right now is, what you're asking here right now is saying, we want $750,000. You guys are the experts. You guys are the ones that know everything about the budget. Figure it out. And if not, you guys turned it down. Because that's what it seems like you're doing.
No, I didn't say that. What I said is,
What we're gonna do is,
you asked me to come
you're
back.
the police chief.
Right.
Come up with the budget. I mean, Mo, this is just, you were able to do it for the 3 civilian positions and they were great and we supported it. We had grants coming in for the Ford Road issue tickets. You broke down everything on how we were gonna be able to fund it. Unanimously, you were supported. Help us do the same thing here.
Okay.
Thank you. And then we'll support
Thank you.
this openly,
Appreciate it.
unanimously.
Council Chair, just for the record, we didn't give you a budget. We were proposed a budget and we approved the budget. Your police,
Yeah.
the chief proposed to us. We don't make the budget. The budget's proposed to council. And the budget that said it was 45 police officers, what was budgeted for that officer. And again, for the record, I put this year's budget was the highest police budget ever approved in the city with less officers. And if Shannon, we can come out where if there's any money available in the city that we could, maybe, 10 officers, I'd love to have 20, but if there's money that we can move around to hire, the more the merrier. But anything that usually comes in front of us that needs to be amended, there's usually a GL account that it's coming from or where it's getting moved from. We just can't write up blank checks. So if we can come up with anything, if it's not 10 officers, if it's 5 officers, 3 officers that we can move together on a study session, we're up for it.
All right.
Okay, yeah, I was just confused because I think last meeting it was mentioned by one of the council members
Me,
that
myself.
that we had $1 million resolution coming for the police department. I could have sworn it's,
No,
you know.
Not the resolution, no.
Okay,
I
it
didn't
was
say
something
that.
different. Okay.
No, I said bring, if you want officers, bring the budget to amend. I didn't say nothing about
All right, confusion there.
$1 million.
Okay, I think that's where the confusion is. Maybe one of us misinterpreted what was said. So
We never said anything about $1 million last
Is this, chief, what was the purpose of bringing this before us?
to get 10 police officers.
Okay, was to bring them, not to say, well, you know, hey, council, I wasn't here.
Yeah.
But I watch it, or was it to say, hey, councilman, I'm gonna call you out on your bluff? Cause that's what this seems like right now.
Absolutely not. Councilman Saab and I have
No,
absolutely.
no. If we have the money.
Yeah. I
I'll
think it was
move
just
around the
misunderstanding what was said. That's all.
No, I never once brought up $1 million about anything.
All right, well, maybe I misunderstood.
So
what you
let's
said.
schedule a next Tuesday, city council, study session.
Before the council.
I'll wait on police chief Swope. And if you can come up with that, we'll discuss it in the study session. We'll bring it to the following Tuesday meeting.
Council Chair, Chief Swope done so much in the last couple of months, to be honest with you. I think he'll do his magic and come up with something.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to Tuesday.
Council Chair.
Yes.
For the record,
Hang on 1 second, Roger, please, point of order.
Council did ask him if he wanted some extra officers come before us on the next meeting. That's what we said, come before us and ask for him. So that's what he's doing.
Yeah, well, where's the money coming from?
I know, well, we didn't give him those directions. We asked him if he wants them, come before us and ask for them. That's what he's doing.
Like everything else, they have to.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Council Chair,
I'll come up with something.
I would
for
just
you.
add quickly, isn't there a grievance filed to get more officers?
Yeah,
currently?
I mean, there's a grievance filed, we're supposed to have a certain amount of officers, in the police department at the patrol level. There's supposed to be 11 assigned to each day shift and 10 assigned to each night shift. Currently, that's not the case. So therefore, the union filed grievance and, they're not wrong. So I told them, let me see what I can do to make sure I can work with, council and the mayor to see what we can do to try and rectify those problems. Because, some people, want us to bring back, school resource officers and all that. I'm not doing that. 100% not going to happen. So
What's not gonna happen?
losing any school resource
okay.
officers or DEA people like that.
I wanted you to correct it because I knew where you were at.
Yeah, no, sometimes I tell
You got all the trustees sitting here like, what?
No, I have a great relationship with the school districts and, I'm not losing any of my people. So I'm going to, attempt to do some miracle work here and
Yeah, and we're gonna
come up
support
with
you.
some money. I appreciate it.
Just,
I wanna wrap
I
it
know,
up.
just Chief Swope, just, the union filed a grievance, he said.
Yeah.
But this was the budgeted, police officers that was proposed to us. And
No, we actually was proposed 48. We brought up to 45.
Okay.
no, because of the
So,
supervisor's position.
yeah.
No, then we switched it because they miscalculated how many sergeants were transferred. And in order to get the budget to work, we went to 45. It was originally at 48.
Yeah, and I'm not putting blame on anybody. That's why I say we work together to try and rectify the problem, as we should as, the police chief, council and the mayor. I think we can do that.
Thank you.
And we can just, because it's collective bargaining, right? It's in their contract. They should have a certain amount of people.
And we were at 38 before when this budget started. And we're now at 45. So
I think we're doing pretty good with hiring.
43, but 2 comments.
2 are coming.
I think we're doing great with hiring. So
Yeah.
we're just going to keep pushing forward.
I'd like to suggest that we approach Tifa to see if there's any possibility of funding coming from that source. And worst case scenario, I'm sure everybody in the city agrees we need police officers. Of course. So if it comes to that, maybe the spring election, we could vote on additional funding to encourage that.
Sure. Thank you. We're gonna table this.
Or refer to.
Amend the motion. to
Refer to a study session. Chief, let me know if if it's too soon. Just send me an email and I'll have George switch it. But as of now, I'll add it to next Tuesday for a study session.
It's good.
Good?
Should be good.
Thank you.
Okay, so you want to amend that?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to amend motion 9K and suggest that we have a study session on the 15th. Would that be 6 o'clock?
15th or 13th.
Just table it, refer to the.
Oh, wait.
Refer back to the administration and I'll get with George and we'll do that.
Support.
Okay, so refer back to
Yep, refer
admin.
back to the administration
All right. As stated.
as stated. So do you second that, Councilman Constant?
I do.
Okay, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, Police Chief Swope Dispatch Budget Amendment Request.
Council Chair,
Councilman,
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve to approve.
Move to.
Council to approve the amendment to the police department overtime and salaries accounts as follows. Adjust the 2024-2025 dispatcher maximum from 9.5 employees to 10.5 employees. Amend the police overtime budget 101-300-709-000 by transferring $39,977.60 from the police overtime to police department salaries 101-300-706-000 to fund the additional dispatcher salary. In addition, authorize the comptroller to amend the budget general ledger accounts accordingly as outlined in 9-L.
Second.
motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilwoman Breyer. Any discussion? Chief, you see how this one did this? It gave me a general ledger here. I knew where the money was coming in from. This is easy, 39,000. You and I spoke about this. You actually even gave us a presentation on how we're gonna do it. And now you're capitalizing on it. So thank you for that.
All right, you're welcome.
That's Council Chair discussion. Was that the young man that was hired yesterday?
No, that was actually that would put us at 9.5. So this will
Okay.
put us at 10.5, and then we're gonna keep going all the way till we get to 13. So
So
we're getting
we're
there.
getting two new dispatchers.
That's correct.
That's awesome. Okay.
All right. Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, second by Councilwoman Breyer. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you.
We're moving on to, there's no petition from citizens. Moving to 11, ordinances and resolutions. Chief Hernandez and City Engineer Deep, CDBG, DR Infrastructure Resiliency Planning Resolution.
Council Pro Tem.
Councilwoman,
I'll make the motion that the Dearborn Heights City Council adopts a resolution authorizing entering agreements for a community development block grant disaster recovery, known as CDBG-DR, planning grant with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation for infrastructure resiliency planning. In addition, designate Chief of Staff Hernandez as the environmental review certifying officer, the person authorized to certify the Michigan CDBG-DR application, the person authorized to sign the grant agreement and payment requests, and the person authorized to execute any additional documents required to carry out and complete the grant as outlined in 11A.
second. A motion by Councilwoman Nancy Breyer, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion?
Council Chair.
Councilman?
Okay, yeah, the authorizing the Chief of Staff Hernandez as the environmental review certifying officer. Not to say anything bad, but I mean, is there qualifications that need to be met to hold that position, or?
I think we're gonna have the Chief of Staff, and my question was, there's no attachment to this motion.
Yeah.
There's no backup whatsoever.
So this is a continuation of the original CDBG DR disaster relief grants that we've had study sessions for over a year now. This is for the funding that we got awarded due to the floods in 2021. The only reason that these resolutions are coming back to you is because our planning grant, they requested that we split that grant into two separate grants, which are these two. And just part of the formalities of the grant is to have a resolution from the council supporting it. So we already had one for the combined project that we approved in the past. And now, again, we're just separating it because we have better chances of funding them separately.
No, I appreciate it,
now
but
with
can we do it like from now on, make sure that just put the backup again? It would be easier for us just to see exactly what we're looking at.
So Councilman, I appreciate that, but Mr. Abdul was right. This was presented in May, but it was one, and we had a change in the administration in the state of Michigan. The administrator for that grant retired, and his replacement did not accept what the prior administrator said. One resolution for the grant, he said, no, I need two separate resolutions for the two tasks, the master plan and the resiliency. So it is already in progress, and we already have it underway. It's just that one combined resolution from you is no longer acceptable to this gentleman. He wanted two separate resolutions. That's why we're back.
No, I completely understand, Mr. Deep, but it's just easier for us to know what we're looking at. I mean, we look at so many different things.
Okay.
That we can have the backup. Any more discussion from anybody else? Councilman?
Yeah, I mean, where are these resolutions that we're improving? I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, I mean, this is,
The backup, let's talk about the backup.
yeah, the
Yeah,
back.
so in May, we had them all presented, if you recall, the two
Yeah.
bridges and the master
Yeah.
plan, so like the HIP and Polk Bridge, we had a study session. But the resolution, which is part of the application, they agreed to have one resolution from you for both of them. And now they're saying, well, can you separate the resolution? That,
Council Chair.
And we
Councilman,
also had a
Basically,
study
just saying,
session
needs to
2
see the
weeks ago.
agreement before we.
we also had a study session.
2 weeks
no.
ago with the update with
No,
regards to the
I completely
separation.
understand.
Council
But it's
Chair.
good. We still need to approve this or deny this. We need to see the agreement that you're talking about. Right. So you're telling us.
We won't get the agreement until the grant is awarded, which won't happen without the resolution.
I think you're talking about what was approved in the past.
We need to see the resolution.
The resolution
There's
was
two.
approved for the two tasks.
I understand that, just
And
put it in the
they
back.
wanted to separate them. That's all so the new administrator said, separate them so we can process it. It's just an
Yes.
administration thing.
I have a question. Why aren't these resolutions, why is the chief of staff or not the mayor signing these?
So the grants come with a lot of tasks associated with them, which require reports and submissions that have to be submitted by a city administrator. That is typically me, because the mayor does not have the time to go into the online system.
Too busy
and do the
checking
details,
emails.
here and there.
Honestly, I see that every time something like this comes by, it kind of worries me that he doesn't want to sign, put his name on anything.
So he signs the agreement as a whole, right? He signs the total agreement.
But he is the administrator of the city.
Yeah, but he is not the grant administrator. You can have multiple grant
So
administrators.
who's
in
the
each
grant
grant.
administrator?
Me and Mr. Dib.
So, okay, we're gonna go back to Funding Scout then. If you guys are the grant administrators,
Okay.
and you're saying that they go out and they're doing all the meetings and everything.
Mhm.
So how come we got administrators here?
So we're the city we represent the city. We're the recipients. So we're the ones that says, we specify what the project is. We write the scope. We do the actual, so
But
he's.
the mayor is delegating that to you guys.
So here, I'm sorry, Mariana. So here's my position on this. Which we support anything with grants, but honestly, I believe that if your name is on it, so should the mayor's signature be on it.
So again, the mayor will sign the final agreement. with
Any
the approval
agreement
of
that comes
council.
forward, the mayor's signature should be on it.
He's the mayor of
It's
the
a little
city.
complicated because the online systems, you have to be the administrator to gain access to them, right? So if I'm not the administrator, I won't get the reminders of, hey, you have a report due, or we have questions about this, or can you send me an update about this invoice? That's why it has to be the person, because it allows you the access. So when the grant gets awarded, let's say in the FEMA access, for example, or in HUD, they create that user as approved by the council. So if I don't have user access, then the mayor would become the grant administrator. So that's what the thing is. And again, that's why you have to do it that way. Same as when we did the ARPA funds, like I was also the administrator for the ARPA funds, because you have to have that name approved by the council associated with the online.
But that's why we paid $1.some million to have a company tell us how to spend that money.
You can't have a company represent the city. It has to be a city representative.
Interesting.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, moving forward, I wanna see the mayor's name. I don't wanna see Staff Hernandez. You're not the mayor of the city of Dearborn Heights.
He can't do the report.
There's a portal in progress. You're constantly doing updates.
You can delegate
So
those
you
to
sign,
you guys,
you sign up almost weekly and
His
do.
name is not on here.
His name is not on here to delegate that.
He's granting permission, hang on, guys, he's granting permission from a federal grant saying, I'm not signing on to it, my chief of staff is.
He's saying I'm the administrator. He's not saying
Understand,
I'm
but he's-
not signing
he's
off
not
on
the-
it.
You're not the mayor of the city of Dearborn Heights.
I understand, but again, I think that you're missing the purpose of the resolution. The
I think-
purpose of the resolution
I
is
know
to
what the
award the
purpose of the
access.
resolution is. We know the resolution is completely different than what we're talking. We're saying every time this comes before us, it says your name and not Bill Bazey.
Yes, because he's assigned me as the grant administrator.
But
with
where does it
Mr.
say
Gibb
that?
For these?
Was in the.
It was approved in the past, but it's okay. We can try to find a way to have 3 users in the accounts
There you go.
and see if we all can get announcements for them. But again, the point is somebody has to do the work, and that's typically me and Mr. Gibb.
Any other discussion?
Council Chair, I have a question.
Yeah.
chief of staff and our city engineer said that this resolution was already approved together. That makes our records incorrect. So shouldn't that first one that you did be rescinded? Because you're approving it twice, right?
100%.
But I don't know the motion number because this is the new one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
And to
get you that
rescind
number.
whatever motion it is.
So
To reflect.
To replace.
To rescind it, so this one is
Rescind.
new, and then what George
Why
will do
don't,
is
why don't we
go
send these
and.
two back,
What's that?
update it, add the mayor's name to it, and we'll
I don't know
unanimously
if there's
pass.
time. I just want to make.
Don't do that because we're on a timeline for the grant.
You know, you guys always tell us.
I can give you the grant right now.
So this is not our fault. So the state changed this and we have $2,090,000, 91,000 run on us. They changed it. They accepted the first one. Now they're saying a new person says, I need two separate
Well,
ones.
the resolution's not correct regarding.
emails.
What's the time
All
frame on
right,
it?
deny it, please.
You
All right.
could just add you can amend it and add the mayor's name.
What's gonna happen?
Okay.
We will lose $2 million.
Sorry.
What's the time?
In my opinion, it's a simple solution. We could amend the resolution right now by adding the mayor's name to it as well. And I can give you the prior resolution right now to rescind it. So I think we can get this resolved
All right, let's
today.
get it, and we'll-
That way we
we'll all
don't lose
get
the
together.
money. Yep.
Council Chair, what is the time frame on this?
I don't know, everything's always around.
I mean, back up, that's why.
Yeah, I mean.
Council Chair, I'd like to know when they became,
Hold on, Councilwoman, go ahead.
I'd like to know the exact date they became aware of this. How long has it been sitting on somebody's desk?
1
You're
week.
not gonna get any information.
1 week
Council Chair-
since we were notified that it has to go back for resolution approval. So
Council Chair,
we
I just
did
had- my original question.
Hang on, Councilman.
What date did you actually get notified that it had to be split?
I can forward that email to you right now, but it was last week. It was like right when we were submitting the
They
information. for the
said you
grant.
have a week to do this, and if not, you're losing $2 million, according to Mr. Deep.
They notified us that the resolution that we had approved in the past was no longer valid and that they needed this additional separation. So
Let's just make these changes, give us the ones to rescind. Give us the mayor's name on here.
thank you.
Council Chair, Council
What do I
Chair,
have to do with?
one of my original questions was the environmental review certifying officer that Mr. Hernandez. I mean, what is that? And what's that? I mean, what is that?
Environmental
entail?
chief operator.
I mean, what's
I mean,
environmental
I mean-
review certifying officer? We're
So-
gonna approve something that we don't even know what that terminology means.
So again,
does
the
it
environmental reviewer is going to be a part of the team, which is our city
What's it
engineer.
do?
It reviews the application and everything associated with it. For this grant, because they're planning, again, they're going to be looking at the resiliency of the water. It has to be reviewed for environmental reasons and lots of other studies. That's why we have Mr. Dib on the team with me, as well as Wade Trim, who they're the ones who are going to prepare the specs and do the studies and tell us what's there. Mr. Dib and I review it. I sign off on it in the grant, or Mr. Dib signs off
Councilman,
on
I
the grant.
gotta tell you.
Recording in progress. Oh, yeah, now it's confusing. 2-3, I thought it was 3-5-4-6.
2, 3, 5, 4, 6.
546, that's what I have down.
Okay, all right. Okay, and after we rescind that portion, you also wish to have the mayor's name put.
Yes, and on the additional, well, we'll just add it to the other one when we read it.
Right.
Motion made by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by Councilman Constant. Any discussion on that? Think we had enough? All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries.
Thank you.
Next up, Mr. Deeb, hopefully that makes you happy. You got a smile.
No.
There it is. Next up, we have 11B. Anybody want to read it?
Council Chair,
There you go.
Councilman Constant?
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council adopt the resolution authorizing entering into agreements for a community development block grant disaster recovery CDBG-DR planning grant with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation for a comprehensive master plan. In addition, designate the Chief of Staff, Mariana Hernandez, as the Environmental Review Certifying Officer, the person authorized to certify the Michigan CDBG-DR application, the person authorized to sign the grant agreement and payment requests, and the person authorized to execute any additional documents required to carry out and complete the grant as outlined in 11B.
Support. Motion made by Councilman Constant, seconded by Councilman Ahmad with the rescinding of 23546 and adding Mayor Bill Bazey to this, correct?
Correct.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries. Next up, we have comments from council members. My comments were just about the fire station. Chief of Staff, can you give us an update on it? I know the mayor's not here.
Mr. Deep.
Or Mr. Deep?
Chief's on the, up there. Why not?
Mr. Deep is, there's a grant in mind.
Smiles, big smiles.
Yes.
By the way, I want you guys to know, I absolutely admire and respect and appreciate Mr. Deep so much. The guy does great work. I call him. It's the same thing for the last 2 years. Mr. Baydoun.
Mr. Biden, no.
There you go.
So, you had requested, a roof replacement. We're talking about the roof.
I'm talking about the fire station. We know that it's in shambles.
The.
We want to know the repair that we're doing is
The
doing.
replacement, the one we just received the grant tonight to check the 500,000 or the repairs on the roof?
Repairs. They came in here, the
Okay,
health,
okay.
the health
Okay.
and safety commission came in.
We received proposals for the replacement of the roof at the fire station, which is what you had asked the consultant to do back in June, end of June.
We said repair.
And so the roof replacement, there was a roof replacement. So they gave us standard specifications for a full replacement of the roof. And there were two proposals. I reviewed them. In particular, the one on, so there were two roofs, one repair on the south station and one replacement at.
It was vice versa. It was a repair on the south end and it was going to be a
replacement on the north end.
No, replacement is on the south end and repair on the north.
So all right. So there are two things. The repair, so that's not what the consultant did. I wasn't here when you asked them. So they gave us a full replacement proposal for the north end. And that was expensive because as you know, the station is slated for demolition. On the south end, we had a pending grant from the state of Michigan for the second floor addition to the fire station. So you don't want to replace or repair a roof and come back and sit. And the grant approval was due end of September. So last Saturday, I saw the representative, Erin Burns, and I asked her about the status. And she said, not this year, Ali, maybe next year. So now we know we're not doing the second floor. So I went back and says, okay, now we need to repair that roof currently. So it's out. We got three people looking at it. No consultant. I'm doing the repair. So that's for the south end repair. Right? Because
I was there on
it's
that
still coming
conversation
down.
with Erin Burns.
The fire, yeah, Erin, she said maybe next year. So the money for the second floor is slated for 25 budget, not this year. So now we know we have to do a repair. We're not going to do a second floor. For going back to the Beach Daily. Beach Daily, I'm working with, we've got the two numbers, two replacements, and I don't want to do a replacement. I like to do a repair, a 3 to 5 year repair, plus the environmental work down below. So we've got the separate prices. The roofers don't do the environmental work. Councilman Ahmad gave me a number and I called him. And so I've got two prices for the environmental work and then two prices for replacement. I'm going now for a repair, 3 to 5 year repair. I expect to get the numbers next week. So by next council meeting, I will present three options for you. Repairs, 3 to 5 years, and then environmental, two separate companies. And then the same for the south end. So now we're doing repairs, no replacement. on both of them to get 3 to 5 year, life.
Mr. Deeb, just please make sure whatever company you bring, they're vetted and a legitimate roofing company, because this is the safety and health of our firefighters.
Sir, I always vet the company. I don't have a cousin in the.
No, I'm not saying cousins at all. I'm just saying just good company.
They have to be licensed and
insured.
bonded and insured, but.
All right, guys, any other council members thank you, Mr. Deep. That was great.
Council Chair.
Yes, go ahead, Councilman.
Thank you, Council Chair. I stay here this evening with heavy heart, especially for those in our community mourning loved ones lost overseas due to the tragic events unfolding as a result of the Israeli bombardment in Lebanon. This is a time of great sorrow, and I want everyone to know that we are in this together. We share in your grief and your struggle, and we will continue to support one another through these challenging times. As we reflect on this situation, it is crucial that we raise our voices against the Israeli violence and injustice. The ongoing action that have led to such immense suffering cannot be ignored. We must call for an end to the violence and the genocide that is taking place. Our community deserves peace, compassion, and understanding. Councilor Chair, also I know you got so many calls. I got so many calls about the water bills. I mean, needs to be investigated. Either we need to take this to a study session, or maybe put a motion on the table to bring a third party that can audit, investigate, whatever it's called, with the water billing. I mean, I got 3-4 calls. They sent me bills. I sent them to the mayor. They're over $5,000. And the same, subdivision. There's something going, I know you got the same calls too for different homes. Councilman Saab did, other council members did. So I think we need to do something about this. This is an ongoing problem. I mean, there's something going on. There's no way people are, spending that much water. So I'll put it in your court, either put it to a study session, or I don't know, you want me to bring a motion to hire a third party? I'm not sure if Mr. Deep can help us with this, but needs to stop.
Sure, he can.
People, are suffering out there, so.
There is some things that have been going around with the water bills. Because if you heard 5,000, I swear to you, I have a resident that called me and said, I've been getting estimates on my property for 2 years. Estimates. They called me recently and said I owe $5,000 because they've been underestimating me for the last 2 years, and they want me to come up with this is a senior, by the way, a senior that was getting a bill for $110 and said, where do you expect me to get $5,000 from? So, I mean, the city's going to have to do its part. I think, an investigation from our city, and with all due respect to Mr. Deeb, I don't think Mr. Deeb's the answer either. I don't think anybody in the water department is the answer either. 100% a third-party investigation needs to happen on our water department. Our taxpayers, our water payers are suffering way too much. To be honest with you, it's complete bullshit. People should not be paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 for a water bill. That's good. I have residents that are telling me I didn't even fill up my pool. I wouldn't water my grass. The blight in front of my house, my grass looks dead because I refuse to water my grass. But yet we're fighting people and saying, we want you to beautify our city. But our water bills are extremely high. So there's definitely something. And I keep hearing, well, GWLA comes out and they sell it to you at a cost. But so then we go up. No way. We have the highest water rates in the state of Michigan, surrounded by water. Here comes Dearborn Heights. Highest water rates. That is crazy. No way. There's something going on. And I definitely believe a third party investigation needs to happen.
I can bring the motion next.
And what is happening, and I will bring something forward at the next city council meeting.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have one more point. I saw something last week. It was like a press release or a statement that really bothered me. It's talking about Dearborn Heights having the worst drivers, which is, I don't think it's true. I did discuss it with Chief Swope, and he's looking into data. I mean, obviously, maybe they look at it, maybe we're giving tickets while we do. I mean, our police department, they're doing their job. But keep in mind, we have at least 4 or 5 major roads that go through our city. We have Ford Road, Telegraph, Van Born, Inkster, Warren, Joy Road. So people, they drive through our city. So it's not just us.
Those roads go through every other city as well.
I understand, but I mean, people going through our city, and I guess they think they can drive the way they want to drive, and we're stopping them. So I know, Chief Swope, he was more than happy to help on this situation. He's looking to data and he's gonna give a statement soon. Hopefully it's, to correct the statement that was given before that we, Dearborn Heights residents are the worst drivers. Maybe some, but I won't say we have the worst drivers.
And I don't even know how they came up with this, that I think it was complete bull
I think just a campaign against Dearborn Heights, I'm not sure.
Council Chair. Council Chair.
accidents. Have you not seen this? Cell phone from the ears.
Thing about Dearborn.
You're right, you chased some lady down, right?
One across from me today, their cell phone, you're making a left hand turn. Not him.
I saw every day.
You shouldn't have a cell phone in your ear anyway. Driving a Cadillac Escalade, for God's sake.
Oh, nice, trust.
It could be hands-free.
Thank you, Council Chair.
Thank you,
I'm
Councilman.
sorry.
Also, I also just want to tell you, you do a phenomenal job. Councilman Ahmad is always speaking from the heart. He's always giving back. He's, when you listen to this man, it's truly intrinsic and,
Thank you, Council.
really, we lean on you. We love you and thank
I
you
love
for
you
being
more.
here with us,
Thank
man.
you, sir.
Really.
Appreciate
God bless you.
Go ahead, let Councilman, Constantine.
Okay, Councilman Constant, go ahead.
Thank you, Council Chair. I too, attended the firefighters open house. It was a great event. I looked at the mangled, car that was there and I know they had a demonstration of the jaws of life. That will remind everybody to drive carefully and to slow down. We have Halloween coming up. Just to echo what, Councilman Hassan Ahmad so eloquently said, about the what's going on in the Middle East, the bombing by Israel of civilian targets in Beirut and elsewhere. I saw something, a new segment about a program. They're using AI. They assign a number to a person, the Israeli IDF, and then they wait for that person to go into their house and they blow up the house and their family. And they're using artificial intelligence to do that. It's just awful. So I remind everyone, as Councilman Hassan Ahmad did too, we are all in this together to speak out to your elected officials.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Councilman Saab, patiently waiting.
Council Chair. Now, first I want to talk about what's happening in the Middle East, and I've said this every week I've been here. Israel is a state of terror. They're the largest sponsor of terror in the world. And I say this on the record and I say it to anybody. The Israeli forces have been decimating and carpet bombing South Lebanon and Beirut. Our home in the city of Bint Jbeil just 2 days ago sent a video, 3-story home. It's dust. They're not using regular bombs. They're using bombs that literally destroy the home beyond its foundations. And this is funded here by America. We're giving them an average of $1.5 billion a month to do this with our tax money. And this is the administration we currently have in the United States. All we do is fund terrorism back home in the interest of what? What national interest do we have in Lebanon or in Gaza? None. What is it? Every house they want to say, our home is vacant in Lebanon. What terrorists or bombs are in there? The amount of people that are dying every day.
EMTs and firefighters.
They're attacking hospitals, EMS workers, firefighters, just 10 firefighters this morning.
Blew up an entire fire station.
Fire station, killing 10. Israel is a state of terror. They're a terrorist sponsoring state. Benjamin Netanyahu should be held accountable by the international court for his war crimes, and so should be Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and everybody else that supports him. And shame on members of our community, our elected officials that do not condemn Israel and that are scared because of a position or a vote that they're going to lose while all their people are getting executed and killed overseas. Whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, whatever you are in the Middle East, they're not saving nobody. Israel has destroyed 173 churches since the beginning of their campaign in Lebanon, over 200 mosques. Why? Because they can. Because America funds it. Money's going overseas. Look what happened in North Carolina and South Carolina last week. Where's their help here? Where's our help? $750.
We're expecting a hurricane tomorrow and
Tomorrow, another hurricane. They're hopefully gonna offer another $700. But anyway,
Thank you.
I'm not done yet. Water bills. I had residents on a cul-de-sac reach out to me. All 7 residents got a sticker from the city on their doors, excessive water usage. I have a bill that I sent to the mayor. It's $11,000 per resident. $11,000. The cheapest bill that came on that cul-de-sac was $3,900. There's a resident that's 90 years old that lives on her own with 1 bathroom, 1 kitchen. Her bill is $3,800. There's something wrong. The lady that came here last year in November, and remember, we were making fun, like, I guess she has holy water. Her bill came $11,000 now. Again, when the city was out there, they disconnected her water meter. Her meter was still running, and they've never done nothing about it. So this is honestly a citywide issue. The city needs to step up, because myself, it's only my wife and I at home. My water bill is nearly $2,000. It's unacceptable.
Swimming pool.
It doesn't, I don't fill up my pool on a daily basis, honestly. No.
And he showers over his in-laws too. He doesn't shower at home.
Trying to reduce my
I don't even think he showers.
It's definitely not me. Honestly, a third-party investigation should be, I don't know what it is. I don't know who's watching over our meters, our water, our pressure going in our meters. As I know, Mr. Deep said one time they raised the pressures and some of our meters are older than the city, I think, that are installed. It's insane. I mean, I had a lady that called me with an 875 square foot home. Her water bill is $1,500 for 2 months.
And you know what's being told to these residents when they come in and say, why is my water bill so high? They're saying, well, you must have a leak. Why is the leak? Why does everybody have a water leak? Why doesn't the city have the issue?
And then one more thing I had for the administration, I want to check with Mariano or Mr. Deeb or whoever. The studio that's supposed to be getting built in the police department. Again, I want to put on the record. Is it getting built? Yes or no? No? Okay.
If you know,
They had no.
Okay.
are you done?
That's it. Thank you.
Wow.
Council Chair, speaking of the water bills, though, I mean, we've talked about this before about having an outside entity come in and monitor.
Just not bringing a resolution on board. I'll say that it's unanimously by this council.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion? Moving on to administration.
I'll be quick.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
What I wanted to do, make sure you write this down because I've already talked to Chief Swope about it and we'll share with him. But the item 9K, the police budget for the additional patrol, you're kind of kicking around, where's the money coming from? Great question. So I reviewed the cash flow for the last 3 months and our revenue. So our revenue is up a little bit. So we could take a look there. That's one thing I wanted to offer to you all. The second thing I wanted to offer is what I offered before when I was a city council member. And that was the Army Pays program, which it stands for Partnership for Your Success, PAYS, P-A-Y-S. Write this down because I'm sending it to Chief Swope and I want you all to know about it.
Email it to us.
Yes, I will email it and I want the residents to know about it because you've heard about it before. And it's a really great program, but it's not just the Army that does it. Other branches of the Army do it. When they're members and they have police MOS, when they're getting ready to exit the Army or the whatever rank or in the Navy or whatever, they look for jobs. They look for a place to live. They look for a place to buy a home and to settle and keep their family. And so this is a partnership with them to give them the very least an interview with your city and maybe hire because they're already trained. And once upon a time, and I know legal has to be included because legal was before when we did this. They used to offer some funds, but I don't know if they still do, but I wanted to put it on your radar.
Thank you. The Honorable Clerk Lynn Sinia.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be real quick too. Congratulations, Dr. Musalam. Was the best.
One more round of applause, Dr. Musalam.
Oh, you're doing awesome.
I stole a freaking room today. Huh?
Okay. So, but I also want to thank, I know Councilman Wenzel thanked the NHS. They are there for us every single election as well, right? I mean, they are there. They split shifts, but they're always there. And as well as our precinct locations in Crestwood, we have Riverside. Dave is outstanding.
Okay.
And Sammy filled in really good for him in August, and Scott over at Kinlock. And all the staff there too. In addition, we do have Dearborn Public Schools that host District 7, Westwood, St. Sabina, our library, and our Parks and Rec department. So that's the thank yous for now. I just wanted to update you. AV ballots went out. We're up to approximately 7,200 that have been issued. About 25% returned, which is not too bad, but get those ballots in because we don't want them all coming in at the last day. We do have our ballot boxes at the Justice Center, the JFK Library, the Ray, and here at City Hall. Early voting starts. That's new this year. We had it in February, August, and we want a great turnout in for November. It starts October 26th, runs for 9 consecutive days. So that's through November 3rd, and that's from 8:30 to 4:30. One last thing, we're always looking for workers to join our team. So contact us at 791-3430 or come stop in and see us. And
All they do and promise you would work.
he's going to work.
Meetings ago.
100% I'm working.
Okay.
I'm going to put you down. We'll have you come in and fill out an application.
Yeah.
Or we'll put it in.
And I'm gonna donate the money that's paid to me to the police and fire. How does that sound?
We'll have to give you that to you and then you can do that.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
I just want you to know that before this meeting started, Mr. DeBaja said, when you come in here, I want you to tell Lynn Sinia how much I love her and how much I appreciate her. He said, I'll be on Zoom, but I won't be able to be in person. So he just wanted me to share that message. I don't know why he just didn't raise his hand and say it there in public comments. Like maybe he shouldn't do that. I just want to share the message that he asked me to share with you at like 5:00.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Director McCaffrey?
Well, hello, Council Chair and Mayor. Just want to talk about a couple of items. First off, this Thursday, October 10th from 10 to 8 and Friday, October 11th and Saturday, October 12th from 10 to 5, that Caroline County Library will be having our annual book sale. The Friends of the Library have been storing around 240 boxes of books through the past few months, so lots of items will be available, so come on out. Also, we have a busy day on October 26th at both libraries. At JFK Library from 1 to 2 p.m. We will be having a cemeterium or Halloween themed terrarium in a jar, aka a cemeterium. Space is limited, so register at the JFK circulation desk or call 313-791-6050. Also, the evening of the 26th, we will be having a trunk or treat and mini golf at the Caroline County Library from 6 to 8 p.m. as we kick off raising money for local families in need during the holiday season. If you want to host a trunk or assist, please call 313-791-3804 or email me at, this is way too long an email address, mpmccaffrey, MCCAFFERY at DearbornHeightsMI.gov. I also want to pass along some well wishes to our supervising librarian, Lynn Skazalski, and her family who recently retired. She was a valuable part of our community for 16 years, did not only help our city well, but helped bring about change locally for the library world in Southeast Michigan. She will be sorely missed. Finally, want to congratulate Saba Al-Hashami, who has been promoted to Lynn's role as branch manager, and AJ Wyatt Moyer, who's promoted to manager of outreach. That's all for now. Thanks for your time and see you at the library.
Mr. McCaffrey, I'm gonna make sure that Councilman Ahmad pledges Councilman Saab pledges $100 to the trunk or treat.
I'll do that.
Okay, well, thank you.
I'll accept that.
Everybody's money.
I'll accept that.
He's the rookie councilman. We gotta,
Okay, thank you.
thank you. $100 pledged. I won't give you $1. How do you think you're so rich?
Council Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
In addition to the announcement, I'd like to comment on our last meeting we had for the Ecorse Creek. We had in attendance, about 34 people. And Ali Deeb, our engineer, and the mayor found sources that are going to put a special thing for 1 mile of the Ecorse Creek. Was that near Pardee or was that? Okay, and he can elaborate a little bit more, but a lady from, we had Centec. Right.
Downriver Community.
We had quite a few people. We had a great presentation, and we had some people there. And Go ahead, Howard.
Thank you, Councilwoman. So yes, so that was a great event. DCC, is providing the assistance for that 1 mile. I believe we presented that, the 1 mile, of Ecorse Creek, which is basically there, we're asking, we're trying to coordinate, efforts with any agency that will give us, funding or possible funding. So in addition to the work, so this particular agency now working with a great consultant, Stantec, looking at the global issue of the flooding of Ecorse Creek. So they're looking at the wider issue of the creek from inception to the Detroit River. So they're also looking at the big picture of the St. Lawrence, so how it fits or where the water goes and, part of the Great Lakes. So as part of that project, we were able to make the presentation to the DCC of the need for Dearborn Heights, and they concentrated on their efforts. So they were able to get that one funding for a trial section of the Ecorse Creek within Dearborn Heights to see if that proposal, if we can come up with a pilot plan, and they got the funding for that 1 mile just east of Telegraph. So Ecorse Creek, 1 mile east of Telegraph.
And it was awarded to us?
They're doing that on our behalf. So they're coordinating all the efforts. So to prevent duplication, I put them in touch with the big Corps of Engineer, big solution, plus the Wayne County repairs that the county's doing. And I gave them copies of our drone that we invested in, so they know the status and condition. And they also are coordinating with FEMA. So the floodplain, as we all know, are constantly changing. That's why we pay, for that monitoring station, so we know exactly the water level and where it's moving. So the floodplains have moved from east of Telegraph recently, FEMA indicated, to from west of Telegraph and on Ecorse to just east. So that's why we're doing the session where if it makes sense, and they're paying for it. So they're coming back and use it. So we're trying to coordinate with anyone that can assist and pay. So the county, just for the record, for the county cleanup that's going to Dearborn Heights, the last I heard coordination wise is that winter or spring. So they didn't make it the first day, but they still have money for Dearborn Heights. So for us to start, they're coming in from the Detroit River west. So for them to hit Dearborn Heights by Southfield, it'll be the winter, like late winter or most likely early spring. So for that cleanup. So that's why it's great coordination. And they were all in that meeting to present to our people that, there are a lot of efforts taking place, a lot. But, again, to put these people together to prevent duplication and maybe get the best for our efforts.
Thank you, Mr. D.
I think it worked out good.
It was an
Thank you.
excellent PowerPoint presentation.
That's
Too bad more people weren't there, but we had over 30.
That's awesome.
So that's the first time we've had that kind of attendance. And our next meeting, by the way, I don't expect that many people, is going to be on the 23rd at 6:00, 3335 South Beach Daily. And then on the 24th, we have the South Dearborn Heights Civic Association at 7 p.m. I'll announce at our next meeting who the
Good job.
speaker will be.
Councilwoman Breyer actually is on many of these commissions. She's on the city council. She helps out at the Ian Center. Does a phenomenal job. Round of applause to Councilwoman Breyer. All right. Any other announcements? Seeing none. We're going to go to public comments. We're going to start in person. I know there have been many students that have been standing here waiting, so let's give them our undivided attention, please. Okay, we'll start off with the trustee, I guess. President.
They're coming up
I
with
think they're
me.
coming.
Oh, they're coming up with you?
We're gonna all speak in a row.
Is you going to speak in a row?
Do we get 2
As
minutes?
long as it's not repetitive and we're not hearing the same thing from all 10 of them.
Council Chair, we listened to you repetitively all night. As part of-
Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys, listen. Look, nobody knows. I stand with all of our students and and I love every single one of you guys are, but the rules are the rules at the end of the day.
Speaking after me.
And even if my brother's in the audience, I still need to make sure that I'm holding my brother accountable as well. So,
Yeah, he told them to be quiet a few times.
yeah.
I did too.
Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
Danielle Elzayat, Dearborn Heights, Evangeline.
Thank you.
Good evening, council members. My name is Danielle Elzayat. I'm the Crestwood School Board President of the Crestwood School Board of Education. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak tonight. I'm proud to share the remarkable progress that our district has made under the leadership of Dr. Yusuf Masalam. As you saw earlier, he's the 2024 Superintendent of the Year for the NASS. I think it's worthy of another applause. This recognition reflects the dedication and hard work we've put into making Crestwood District an excellent district. Dr. Masalam's leadership, we've seen significant improvements, student success, expanded programs and infrastructure development. However, our community continues to grow, so we do need our schools and we do need some improvements. That's why the 2024 bond proposal is so important. I'm not here to tell anybody how to vote. I'm just here to say that there is a bond on the ballot this coming November. And anybody who would like information on this can email any of us, any of the trustees. You can email Dr. Masalam or any of the bond team members to get your answers. But I would love to encourage you to come to our in-person meetings where all your questions can be answered. And we have some upcoming meetings. Tomorrow we have a meeting at the Childhood Center at 6 p.m. Next week, October 16th, we have a meeting at Riverside Middle School at 6 p.m. We also have another meeting October 23rd, 6 p.m. at Crestwood High School.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna pause your time real quick. Can you email us those times? Pause it real quick. Can you email us all those dates?
Yes, absolutely. I will. Thank
all
you.
right,
I appreciate that. And the reason why I feel that this is so important is we want people to come, and if you have questions, please ask us. Ask somebody who understands, somebody who was a part of putting the bond together, not somebody who's reading a quick pamphlet. And frankly, there's a lot of misinformation going out there, and it's from some administration in the city, which is very disheartening because the bond would only improve life for our students, and that's all that matters, right? So we make our students a priority. So please, any information, join our meetings. We'd love to hear from you all. We'd love to see you all there. And if there's something that you think that we can improve on, something that you're not seeing us do, we'd love to hear from you on those things too. Also, before I leave, and because I have the microphone, I do want to take a minute to say thank you so much for recognizing Israel's terrorism towards Palestine, towards Lebanon, towards Yemen, and all the Middle East countries that are suffering. We are American and we love America. We love the opportunities that America gave our ancestors when they came here and immigrated. But we also will always have a special place in our heart for where our ancestors came from, just like every American in this country. And when we sit and we talk about how we're going to try to find money for our police chief to get 10 more officers on the street, to keep our community safe, to keep our residents safe, to keep our land safe, it's disheartening that all of that money that could be funding 10 police officers, 50 police officers could go towards that instead of towards.
Thank you. I agree 100%. Imagine we took $8.9 billion and gave it to Dearborn Heights. Can you imagine the police force we'd have, the fire stations, the police? Instead, we gave it to Israel to bomb people and the civilians. Thank you.
I agree. I'm not sure if I can follow up Danielle, but I'm here as a mother of the Crestwood School District as well.
Please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on.
My name is Iman Sayed. I live on Kinlock and I live in Dearborn Heights.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to tell you my name again. Hello, my name is Iman Sayed. I'm a mother, local business owner, and proud member of our community. Today, I urge all voters to vote yes on the 2024 bond. By voting yes, this bond will fund 27 new classrooms across the district, reducing overcrowding and enhancing the learning experiences of other children. It will also transform Riverside Middle School into a career technical educational center where students can explore fields like medicine, criminal justice, and computer science at a young age. I have a son who actually doesn't care for school, let's be real. I'm not sure if he's going to choose to go to a tech school or go to college. And honestly, I think if this was available to him while he attended middle school, I think that this would have actually helped made his future brighter. By voting yes, we are not only investing in our schools, but also in our homes. State-of-the-art schools will benefit our students, increase property values, attract families to the Crestwood community, and ensure a brighter future. Voting yes means upgrading to aging infrastructure, replacing boilers, water heaters, pumps, and much more. Please vote yes so that we can invest in the success of our children, our students, ensure that our students, teachers, and staff had the best environment to learn, teach, develop, and grow. Please vote yes on the Crestwood School Bond on or before November 5th.
Thank you.
And then I want to echo everything Danielle said in regards to Lebanon, Israel, Yemen, Syria.
Thank you.
No, echoed. Thank you.
God bless you. How you doing, ma'am? Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
My name is Mesa Buzani. I'm from Dearborn Heights and I live on Fairwood. Good evening, council members, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Mesa Abuzani. I'm a junior at Crestwood High School and president of our student congress. I'm here today with a few of my peers to speak on behalf of the 2024 Crestwood Bond proposal and share some of the challenges that we as students face on a daily. As a student, I've constantly experienced overcrowded hallways and the limitations of our aging facilities, including our cafeterias, classrooms, hallways, and our gym. I've also been on the varsity girls soccer team since my freshman year and participated in gym class, so I can truly say that our locker rooms have not seen updates. When we visit other schools, it's not very hard to notice how modern and well-kept their facilities are in comparison to ours, which are in a constant disrepair. I'm also a member of the band, which this year has won several competitions and caption awards for our outstanding color guard, marching, music, and percussion. Thank you. Yet despite all of these achievements, we lack the space and support to compete at a state level and are limited from exploring new types of shows and music styles because we aren't able to buy the instruments and props necessary for this. When we go to other schools for competitions, I see how they take pride in their updated band rooms, facilities, and always wonder, why not us? When it comes to school functions and sporting events, we don't have a big enough area to host many things. Our bleachers aren't even big enough to host a pep rally in the gym. And our bleachers don't even fully open all the way. So it's very hard for school spirit to thrive in this kind of an area when our facilities aren't meeting the needs of our growing student body and athletic events. I may not be benefiting directly from the 2024 bond proposal since I will be graduating soon, but I believe it's my job to advocate for the future students. I want to ensure that they have a better Crestwood School District that they can be very proud of. I urge this council to support the 2024 bond proposal. And to everyone listening, please remember to vote on November 5th. While we, the students, can't vote yet, our voices matter, and we're counting on you to help secure a better future for Crestwood. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. Your support on November 5th will make a world of a difference for our students and community. I hope to see our district thrive and improve throughout these next few years with the bond. Thank you.
Council Chair, I want to piggyback something on that.
Yeah, you just let
Well, no, it's to what she just said.
Sure. Go.
Okay. Recently, the alumni for Crestwood, which I am, was invited to walk the halls. We were guided by honor students and, I was surprised to hear there was one-way hallways because of the overcrowding. And it was explained to me, a student says, if I come out of my classroom, I got to go that way because that's the way we're directed. Even though my next classroom's there, I have to go through the entire school to come back around to the classroom that's right next to me because of the one-way hallways and the overcrowding. And that's something I didn't realize. It didn't happen when I was a student there.
Or me.
But yeah, I was shocked to hear that.
Just have an echo, just a comment. Your brother actually, took me a tour through the schools. And, it's a shame the condition the schools are in. Honestly, as a resident of the city, it's a shame. I actually went under the schools and seen sewage pipes busted, literally leaking as the kids are in schools. In the hallways, I actually seen students get out of Crestwood. It was like a traffic jam. So, in all the schools, honestly, I went to Conlock, man, it was pretty disappointing how they do lunch. Now they have to put half of the students outside and half of them in the cafeteria. So there's a lot of misinformation being spread there. Honestly, with some city administrators, it's a shame. The only thing this benefits is our future of our students. And to Mr. Ray Muscat, right there about skills trade and everything. I went and seen their wood shop. It's tiny, and I was told that if this bond does pass, that they're going to bring back all trades and stuff like that, which is honestly, it is so needed in the district because a lot of these kids are graduating, going to Ivy College, but have absolutely no skills when they buy a home or anything. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. How you doing, sir? Please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on.
Good evening, council members. My name is Adam Bahar, and I live on Highview Street. I'm from the beautiful city of Dearborn Heights. I'm an NHS.
That is a round of applause.
I'm an NHS member, an ASU executive officer, and a proud Falastini from the village of Beit Umar in Al Khalil. I stand before you tonight in utter shock and despair, as the genocide committed against the people of Gaza, the West Bank, and Lebanon continues to bring unbearable pain. Our community is in mourning. Many American citizens have lost their lives in both countries. The suffering in Palestine and the Middle East weighs heavily on all of us. While much can be said about how our national policies have contributed to the death and agony and how our country has become complicit in this genocide, I find solace here, in the community I call home, Dearborn Heights. Our community stands united in support of those who suffer in Palestine, Lebanon, and the broader Middle East. The unity gives me strength. As a lifelong student of Crestwood School District, I've always believed our students deserved better. I've seen the broken playgrounds where the metal playscapes are patched up with Band-Aid fixes. I've experienced the overcrowded hallways where I often find myself stumbling and bumping into underclassmen, just trying to make it to class without being late. I have younger family members who will definitely benefit from the 2024 bond proposal. While my time in Crestwood will come to an end in a couple of years, I hope that our community can do the right thing and unite in support of the students who work so hard. Last year, Crestwood High School had 34 students accepted into early admissions at the University of Ann Arbor. 5 students were accepted to Ivy League schools. That's more than any high school, including private schools in our area. It's remarkable, especially when you consider that many of these students come from middle-class working families, working hard for their success. While we continue to suffer at the hands of the Israeli genocide, I ask that we also focus on how we can build a safe and prosperous community here. In Dearborn Heights and within the Crestwood School District, our students deserve facilities that match their ambition, and I hope we can come together to make that a reality through the 2024 bond. Falastin Hurra, thank you for your time.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Good evening, council members, Honorable Chair, Mr. Moby. My name is Hassan. I live on Fenton, and I'm a junior at Crestwood High School. So I'm the president of the Arab Student Union, a member of the band, the Crestwood Theater, the debate team, and much more. As an activist and proud member of this district, I'm honored to say that I, along with my 3 brothers, am a product of the Crestwood School District. I'm very active in our school and often attend events at neighboring high schools. Every time I do, I wonder why. Other students have it better than us. Why is it that we have to suffer during extreme heat advisories? Our sisters who wear the hijab can barely handle the heat, and yet we are expected to continue without air conditioning. I even had to be bused to Elite Sports to attend gym class because our gym lacked the space to accommodate us. 2 years ago, I remember freezing for 2 weeks when our furnace went out, and while space heaters were brought in, all I could think was, why don't we deserve the very best? Our students are incredibly successful, so why aren't our facilities reflecting that? I believe that we can make our schools better, and that's why I'm knocking on doors, asking residents of Dearborn Heights to vote in support of the 2024 bond. I'm the face of what your vote impacts. This bond is not about the buildings, it's about the future of students like me, and I hope our community can unite to support that future. I also stand before you as a first-generation Arab American. My mother came from Lebanon and attended Crestwood High School for 1 year before going to college. Now she is raising me and her family in the same community and district where she began her journey. That connection is powerful, and that's why I'm committed to making sure Crestwood is the best it can be. Before I close, I want to take a moment to send prayers and blessings to the families who have been martyred in Palestine and now in Lebanon. Please keep the victims of this genocide in your hearts and prayers. Thank you.
You doing, sir? Please state your name, the city you reside in, and the street that you live on.
Good evening, council members. My name is Hussein Abdullah. I live on Deerfoot Street in Dearborn Heights. I try to keep it short if you guys have heard much about the bond. I am the Director of Political Action for the Arab Student Union at Crestwood. I'm also a proud member of the National Honor Society, Amity International, Key Club, and a dedicated athlete specifically on the basketball team. As a basketball player, I've seen firsthand how the space we use for practice, our locker rooms, and even the visitor benches don't meet the standards our teams deserve. When we play away games, I get to see pristine locker rooms and all the amenities that any good basketball team in our area deserve to have. I work very hard every day to stay conditioned and be the best athlete I can possibly be. But no matter how much effort I put in, it doesn't change the fact that our gym, locker rooms, and facilities are outdated and in desperate need of repair and supplies. I have many memories of home games to the embarrassing struggle to find just 6 basketballs that our teams could use to warm up before the games, or after the games when Crestwood students were told to attend our Fortson Crestwood game, as it was our biggest match yet. Crestwood came and showed their support, but we did not have room in our gym to even allow people in. People were standing, sitting on the floor, or not even allowed inside. My family and I take great pride in calling Crestwood School District our home, but I believe it's time we raise the standards. And when it comes to aging building and facilities, the 2024 bond proposal is a chance to do just that. It's not only about making our schools look good. It's about providing students like me with resources we need to succeed both on and off the court. I hope that council and the community will support this bond, not just for athletes, but every current and future student that will ever attend the Crestwood School District. Thank you for your time and consideration.
I will just say, I'm a huge supporter of the bond. I'm a huge supporter of the Crestwood School District. I graduated from Crestwood. In 2008, we were able to go through the hallways like it was normal, but we knew that we had a growing community. What I will tell you is Dr. Musallam, from, upgrading the facilities and seeing what you have been able to do without a bond, is remarkable. And that's, a round of applause to you and your staff. I can tell you, my next door neighbor is a counselor at the Crestwood School District, is always raving about the hard work that you continue to put in. And she actually said, I want to work under Dr. Musallam. And there are people in different districts that have told me, Crestwood is lucky to have Dr. Musallam. And I want you to know, I'm not just saying that to gas you up because you took over the room tonight. This is the honest truth. But to the young Mr. Abdullah who talked about being an athlete, I remember going to Plymouth and watching a wrestling meet and seeing the way these kids had the facility. And then I went back to Crestwood because my nephew wrestles and they had this small little room. I think I emailed Trustee Elziat and I said, we need to resolve this. We need new mats. Like the room smelled like pure odor. It's not even ADA compliant. But I will tell you this right now, Crestwood has an amazing wrestling team. I mean, they have amazing sports, but the wrestling team is actually one of the best wrestling teams in the state, if not the country. They have great staff. They have great coaches. And I pray one day my son and my daughter are going to attend Crestwood and they're going to also be, I know my son's going to be a wrestler. At least I beg, I hope he does. He's not tall enough to do anything else. But I can tell you that I'm going to push for him to be a wrestler. And so one of the things when I hear this bond, I think I went through the different activities where, Dr. Musallam invited a bunch of people from the community, said, what do you want? What do you expect? And if you saw what everybody really wanted was a better quality of life for our children. And I also added in there a better gym for our athletes and maybe a better wrestling room. But if you look at something like the weight rooms, right? When I was there in 2008, the weight room was brand new. That was 2008. It's still the same exact stuff. Like, I think Hype gave over a couple of machines to you guys, but looking at some of the equipment, I was so embarrassed. And so really, I can't really speak much on how to vote, but what I can tell you is, even if this gets me in any trouble, Madam Clerk, I 100% support that, and I pray that this passes for you guys.
Council Chair.
Yes.
Okay.
Councilman?
All the negative comments about the Crestwood High School. I had the honor of hosting a family fun event there recently, and I had access to the school. What they've got there is so well maintained. You would never think they have an issue, but you can tell. I mean, everything's clean. Their kitchen is fantastic. I don't want people to get the wrong idea that this is a rundown school. It just needs upgrading. I mean, it's in phenomenal condition for what they've got. And someone I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the National Honor Society sponsor, Diana Johns. She does a great job. I mean, she's a fantastic person.
Council Chair.
Yes.
I did forget to mention one thing too that I found kind of disturbing. The students are unable to use the lockers there because of the one-way hallways. By the time they get to the locker, then use the one-way hallway to come back around the school to get to their room, they're late. So they carry a backpack with them with all their books in it.
So you guys you can't use?
I mean, they have a locker to use, but it's just hard for them to get all the way.
Locker number 234.
Some of us don't even have lockers. I've had my locker for 3 years and it doesn't even open. And I've complained multiple times. It still doesn't open.
You're throwing Dr. Musalam under the bus on his,
You need a skilled tradesman over there, teach you how to do that.
yeah. All right, anyone else, from the audience before I head over to Zoom? Yep, please step up, state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on.
Dave Kaufman, Kingsbury, Dearborn Heights. First of all, I appreciate what council has to say about Gaza, but please remember there are atheists like me and Jewish people living in Dearborn Heights as well. And I am not saying, I think the first person that ought to go to the International Criminal Court ought to be Benjamin Netanyahu. But I think the second person that ought to go to the International Criminal Court is Yahya Sinwar. And I think that there's a disservice done when, you know, I agree with all the political statements that have been said. I disagree that that's right for a city council to be making those stances when we have all sorts of citizens in Dearborn Heights. That's my only point with that. As for Crestwood Schools, I totally support the bond. Nevertheless, I've had to engage in litigation with Dr. Musalam because the school district, when I went to inquire about how they were updating their Title IX requirements for LGBTQ students, I got abused, thrown out, and banned from school district property. That's resulted in me talking to a couple of law firms, filing complaints with the Michigan Office of Civil Rights, and filing a complaint against Dr. Musalam's license. So I don't know what's going on at Crestwood, but I do know this, and I've talked to Chief Swope about it. There is a problem with gay kids being sexually assaulted, not just here in Dearborn Heights, it's a Metro Detroit problem. But when I approached the school to see what they were doing for gay kids, I got so abused that I've got a perfect federal lawsuit. And I called Mr. Farina to let him know that there was a Dearborn Heights cop involved and asked him to call me back as a matter of courtesy, and I've yet to hear from him. So I filed my complaints. I've consulted with a white shoe law firm here in Detroit, and we're going to proceed firmly because I'm not going to have gay kids unprotected by a school district. And that's exactly what I think is going on at Crestwood Schools right now. And I don't think that, and I'm going to say this up front, I don't think that Dr. Musalam is fit for purpose. Thank you.
Thank you. We just clapped someone.
Ray Muscat, Havelock Street, Dearborn Heights.
Thank you.
I was gonna come up here and speak about something else, but I'm gonna let the next, my friend here, Zohair, speak about what we discussed, when we spoke together. But water came up, which is has been a big problem. About, I'm gonna guess 15 to 18 years ago, I kept bringing up the handheld instrument that we use to plug in to read the water meters that are on outside of everybody's home or business. I always wanted to know, when was that last calibrated? Who calibrated it? And where can I see the calibration? Now, as a industrial mechanic, okay, our electricians are required daily to go to a known live electrical panel and test their electrical equipment to make sure that it's functioning properly, okay? And this is by using multiple meters to make sure that they all coincide. I have yet to see anything like that ever happen in a city. But going back a little bit, not to the real past distance, but when I was on council, when we approved $9 million for water meters. And I don't know the exact vote total. It may have been 2 or 3. I know I was one, and I believe Lisa Hicks Clayton was the other one that voted no to combine the money with CSO projects, because I knew what was going to happen with the $9 million. It would go away like the dodo bird, okay? And when we were told about these water meters, as someone somewhat in the trades profession,
my ears went up, okay? And I asked the question, was this all the money we needed to replace the water meters of various sizes, okay? And was the infrastructure going to be there to support all that? We were told yes. Now, flash forward a few years, the infrastructure was never added in with that $9 million. No software. How are these water meters going to communicate to send the meter readings? And going back a little bit about I got one of those yellow tags and I found a leak at my house, but my wife actually found it because she kept telling me she heard something running, and I said, you're dreaming. And it was actually my pipe going out to my sprinkler system was broke. But that's been repaired, and I know that I had a problem with that. But I have helped people that have called me about water bills, and I've gone to their homes, and believe it or not, I find leaks that nobody ever thinks they have. Okay, this is water that's running constantly that they don't know that's running. People that take showers for 40, 45 minutes. You know, the average person, if you look at it, uses pretty close to 50, 60 gallons a day in a household. And that adds up. All you got to do is get yourself a 5-gallon bucket, put it on your spigot on the outside, put a stopwatch on, turn it out, and see how fast.
Thank you, Mr. Muscat.
It's food for thought.
Mr. Muscat. We thank you for that, Mr. Muscat. I will tell you though, I agree. There are probably definitely issues with water leaks.
Oh, there's no doubt.
But there's also something in the back of my mind saying that not every single person that has an $8,000 water.
I brought up the fact about the handheld meters.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I heard you.
And things of that nature, because, that's been a problem for in this city for as long as I've been coming here for 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Thank you, Mr. Muscat.
Good evening again, Zohair Abdelhat, 354 Rosemary. Almost a year ago, the City Council passed 7-0 resolution to put on November 5th this year something to elect Charter Commission.
True.
I would like to ask Mr. Farina what happened to that. We are 3 weeks away from, or 4 weeks from 5th of November. Why this has been done?
Why it hasn't been done is that we've had a budget crisis. We were about to shut the city down. We've had about 3 different motions to remove me and attempts. So I think it'd be good to restart it again. But we have been sidetracked. I have finished 6 ordinances for the city. I just finished the blight ordinance that I was requested to do. I've passed it to the administration for final review. I finished the food truck ordinance. I finished the short-term rental ordinance. We've done about another 3, which I can go into. But yes, I have been working, but it has been distracted, and I agree with you.
Thank you.
I don't mind if we sit down and because I think we talked about doing it for maybe the next election. I think we'd have to go around April. There are timelines, and I've done a actual legal brief, opinion letter that has summarized the process and procedures to follow. We just need to revisit it, sir, and then we can get more.
My concern is when the city council passes a resolution, that's a direction to the administration to do something. Either it means something or your resolution is worthless. So I hope that we follow up on this. And if Mr. Farina is busy or having problem with budget, that maybe we can hire some law firm who's specialized in this kind of work and pay him to do it for us.
We'll get yelled at all over Facebook if we did that again.
I don't see why not. Try and see that you will be able to fund law firm, and it has to be done because this charter is since 1963. It's very old, and I don't see any reason why your resolution is not being executed and done one way or another. The second thing, you guys are looking for $1.5 million or $1.3 million, I think, Mr. Swope. Okay. The city has properties worth over $1.5 million, sitting doing nothing, collecting dust. Why don't we do some work and work collectively with the administration to put those properties, out for bid in a transparent way and get that money and get the 10 police officers for him. That's where your money is. Get that money and hire those 10 police officers. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Please state your name, the city you reside on, the street that you live on.
Margaret King, Mayfair Street, Dearborn Heights, Michigan. I wanted to let you guys know Joey's 2-year memorial. It will be Monday, the 14th at 9 p.m. at the corner of Pardee in Annapolis. I also wanted to bring up the fact that Katie and I went door to door to get 75% of the neighbors. I think all but 2 of the neighbors answered the doors. Every single one of them told us something needs to be done around the school zones. It's ridiculous. I've been fighting for 2 years. I said 3 years at the last meeting that I was here in person at. I want to correct myself. It's been 2 years. It'll be 2 years the 14th. Every single one of those residents have told me something needs to be done. Speed bumps, signage, something needs to be done. I do have my friend that lives on the block won't let my nieces and nephews play out front because of it. When I had went to decorate Joey's corner with Katie, I was there maybe 10 minutes. Mind you, 2:30 p.m., kids get out at 3. At least 10 cars have ran that stop sign, the very corner that Joey was hit and killed at. That's my piece on that. I just want to put that out there.
Council, just pause there for a second. Margaret, I sent you a message in
You
an
did.
email to email me,
You did.
and you've never emailed me.
I never emailed you, but I did text it to you, so I have to copy that text message and put it in email for
Yeah,
you.
and just put, I needed the exact
The corner,
location.
you want all me and Katie went around 2 years ago and we went around every corners and we looked at, I can email you all that
If
information.
you could email me that information, that's all I need, and I've been waiting on it from you
Okay.
or Rachel.
I did get a promotion at work, so I've been getting up at 4:30
it's
in the
fine.
morning.
But please,
So
I need,
I will
I'm
email
trying to
you.
help you. I just need that information.
I will.
Thank you.
And we, don't forget, we passed $1 million resolution. And
And I'm
in
still
honor
here.
of Joey Smith's name, all
And I'm still here,
all the
Mom.
school districts. I think I spoke before the board as well at the Crestwood School Board.
I've met with, he's awesome. He's amazing. I can't brag enough about him.
Yeah, so we passed this resolution. We're waiting on something to be done. I mean,
I know.
we're at the end of the day, we have to stay in our lane to some degree where what are you doing? It's been 3 years.
Right. Been 2 years. I had to
2
correct
years.
myself. It's,
Well, we've been fighting for a little over 10 years. Councilman Muscat has been screaming about this for however many years.
I know. I also want to say what's going on overseas. It breaks my heart. I work with these ladies that have lost family members in Lebanon and everywhere over in the Middle East. It breaks my heart. It needs to stop. I've had ladies walk out of work because lost her mother and father to a bombing. I just wanted to hug her, and my heart goes out to you all that are losing family members. It needs to stop.
Thank you. The gentleman also asked for an additional minute. Go ahead, sir. State your name and city you reside in, the street that you live on.
Hey, my name is Ron Frenzy, live on Fairwood in Dearborn Heights, and I'm here to support Ms. King and just dovetail on a little bit of things that she needs. So I was driving recently in Westland and I saw this Cooper Elementary School in Westland, which is on Iron Arbor Trail, half a mile west of Inkster Road. And they have exactly what we need. So when I saw it, it just overwhelmingly hit me. What they have is a flashing sign, which is solar powered on either side of the school that flashes the speed of the car going by that sign, plus a neon crossing sign on another post, which is like an adult walking 2 kids. So the expensive part here is the solar powered sign. 5 years ago, it cost $3,700. Now it's around $4,700. But the beauty of that is it's solar powered. You don't have to dig any kind of a trench. You don't have to hook up to electricity. All you do is put a hole in the ground and set it up. So if you would drive by this Cooper Elementary School, you would see how good the sign is. Most signs are what I call soft light, like the stop signs, the red, the yellow, and the green. But this is blinding LED lights, and it really captures your attention. So your eyes veer to that sign, and then just beyond that, you would have a crossing guard sign. And the best place to put this would be the placement would be on the north side and the south side of Crestwood High School. And to get somebody's help, you could maybe contact the Commissioner, David Kinesic, and he could maybe help. Or Miss Aaron, maybe she could help. And over in Westland, I have a little red star there. The police department, if you call this direct line and contact the Sergeant Paris, he's in charge of all these kinds of signs. And I would encourage maybe somebody from the council to go see him and just find out what their experiences has actually been. So at the bottom, this is 4 examples of these crossing guard signs, the solar power ones. And the best one is on the right, where you have the solar panel on top, the speed limit, your speed in blinding light, and then you can have an additional sign underneath saying slow down or too fast.
Can I pause you real quick?
Yeah.
I want you to know they already have this on many of the streets in Dearborn Heights. I think this was even when like Mark Myers was here, our former police chief.
Not by the high school.
No, not by the high school, but you see them around areas near the high school. Like there's one on right before St. Linus on Gully. There's one on John Daly right before the new Ord Montessori.
Oh yeah, I was going to mention that. That's my note at the very, very bottom. That it used to be a Montessori school. Now it's called Great Revelations Academy. And what they did is they put this sign when you pass the school, then the sign comes on. That doesn't make any sense. It should be before you approach the school. So that sign is fine. You just have to be moved. Pardon? Yeah. Yeah, both. Yeah. And the company that does this is called the Elon City Sign, and they have a email address, and then that's the phone. They're out of New York. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody.
How you doing, sir? Please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on.
Ben Strapkowski, Columbia Street. I'm probably going to catch a lot of hack or a flock for this, but we could probably be paying for extra officers too, since our $2.8 million investment on Warren Avenue and Beach Daily is not turning over any money. How about where's the rent money coming from Warren Valley?
I will tell you from what I know that the
It's not going to be paid until he's done
no
revamping the building.
No,
we get payments.
They've been collecting payments.
From
and
the
money
golf
has been coming
course.
from the golf
From
course.
the golf
Jason.
course,
Yes.
but what about the banquet center?
I don't even think the agreement says that they have to pay you on that.
No, he's got a contract that he doesn't start paying until after the completion of the construction. Now, why that was written that way is beyond me. When the Elite Sports was paying 3 months after they signed their contract, their rent. So maybe if we could sit down and do some renegotiation on that contract, we could probably get some revenue in for the police department, revenue in for the city. And besides that, we're supposed to be getting 10% of the concessions from both. We're supposed to be getting 10% from the golf course, 10% from the concessions. And what's the holdup with the liquor license and all that too? And is there anything going on mechanical, sewer wise there that has any issues? Sure about that?
This, nothing.
Mr. Deep,
You can go through the chair and I'll let.
Mr. Chair, well, if the mayor was here, could he be able to answer the questions?
What was it? Yeah, well,
You know?
not here.
Checking emails.
Yeah, fly by night.
Guys, point of order. Come on, let's be nice.
Anyway, I granted they're spending a lot of money to get that place vamped up and ready to roll, but yet the citizens aren't making any money at all. It's our tax dollars that paid $2.8 million for that property,
Thank you.
and we're not getting a dime.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get something done.
All right, sir. Thank you, Vince. I always want to recognize Vince at every single city council meeting. I think since I've been on the council in 2019, 2020. Guys, I missed a meeting. Him and Zoe here. Crazy. Let's start with iPhone 4.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, how you doing, sir? Please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on. And I'm so sorry to Nicole. I only went with iPhone 4 because I felt like they were raising their hand so many times and putting it down. I just wanted to start with iPhone 4.
You can take her if you want to, and I'll come back after.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Just please state your name, the city you reside in, the street that you live on, sir.
Sam Hodge, Dearborn Heights, Michigan, Wayne County. About a month or so ago, Council Chair, we had an issue with the city clerk and yourself have made an accusation toward me when somebody was interfering with your Zoom meetings. I wasn't even in that meeting. I followed up with the clerk. I asked her to show a proof. Why did she name me personally? Till now, have not heard any of this. With all the stuff that's going on overseas and my business that's going on right now, you don't have that much time for the city councils. And honestly, I've been away from city councils for a minute. Unfortunately, for the last couple meetings, the same scenario happened again. And a council member have used my name several times again and accusing me of being in your meetings. Council Chair, please, if any of you guys, all 70 guys, along with the clerk, or even the administration, has any sort of personal problem with me, man up and come say it up right now. Because if that issue happens one more time, I'm sick and tired of it. These council meetings are being just a clown show. That's why I haven't attended them lately. And please, just refrain from using my name respectfully.
You got it, Mr. Haj. Thank you. Anything else?
Thank you.
Have a good day. Nicole, please state your name, city you reside on, the street that you live on.
Nicole Buckman, Academy Street, Dearborn Heights.
Thank you.
City trees, they're a hot topic. I get it. I work at the DPW. I answer those phones daily. I take numerous calls daily, and I agree. It's frustrating for both the resident. It's also frustrating for us as the employees that are down there. Too many trees, not enough time, not enough equipment. We have one bucket truck that they use to try to take care of all of these trees in Dearborn Heights. I remember when I started at the DPW last year, it would have been the spring of 23. The guys were so excited because they finally got somebody to come out with a truck that they were interested in purchasing for a demonstration. Council members were invited. I believe the mayor was invited to that meeting, and I don't believe anybody showed up. And if somebody did, it was one. It totally shot down everything that they had hoped and planned for, like possibly putting in a request to purchase to get more vehicles to help with cutting down these trees. Also, we did a new contract for TPOAM. It screwed the highway department and the 4 clerks at the record department because they wanted them open 5 days a week. So you take a highway department that's already short up to 6 to 8 people and cut it in half so that they're working on a Monday and a Friday. So you take 4 days that we were working before and cut it down to 3 full days, and you have 2 half days. There's not enough time, not enough money, not enough employees. That's all I got for that. Water bills. I haven't received a water bill. The last time my meter was read was June 13th. I am going to get a 4-month water bill. There's no reason for it. Things need to be checked into, but people also need to read their water bill because they may be getting a 4-month water bill, which could explain some of the increase, but not an exorbitant amount as some people do experience, which I agree our water rates are really high. And then as far as the schools go, I do agree something needs to be done, more signage or something. I have a sophomore at Annapolis High School, and just last week was almost hit at the corner of Williams and Annapolis because somebody was not paying attention. Granted, she's a tiny sophomore. She's only 4'7", but people need to slow down and pay attention. Thanks and have a great night.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Anyone else in Zoom? Seeing none, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Councilwoman Breyer, seconded by?
Second.
Second by Councilman Ahmad. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it. Have a great day.
Great moment.